The east side of the city of Hull had plenty to smile about as the Robins registered back-to-back wins to start their Betfred Super League campaign. Then came last Saturday's loss to Salford. An early warning that repeating last year's fourth-place finish will take some doing. Tonight, the Warrington Wolves come to Sewell Group Craven Park, still finding their feet in the Sam Burgess era, but with consecutive victories to ease any immediate concerns. Well, round 4 gets underway here on Action shortly, and as throughout the year, you will see the complete round with us here on Sky Sports. Tomorrow, we're on air at 7:30 on Sky Sports Action, building up to Lee and Leeds. We will also have the Saints and Red Devils on Mix at 7:55, and Castleford and Huddersfield on Arena at the same time. 2 on Saturday, both live on Sky Sports Action. London and Wigan kick off at 3 p.m. And from the south of France, the Dragons host Hull FC. Tony Smith's Black and Whites, with a much-needed round 3 win over the Broncos, meant they were the only clubs from Hull smiling last weekend. Well, Willie Peters' troops may have travelled to Salford as favourites, but came unstuck with a distinctly below-par performance against an energised home side. So, redemption of sorts now available. The Robins went down twice early in 2023 to a Darryl Powell-coached Warrington. Well, we will see shortly how they fare against the Sam Burgess iteration of the visitors. The Wolves beat Castleford last time out after 20 minutes of toe-to-toe. The wire lifted to a tempo the Tigers couldn't live with. Well, you get the feeling that and maybe much more might be needed come kick-off here. Their cause, though, helped by the returning England captain. George Williams heralded as the best halfback in the competition by Hull KR's head coach. Yes, good evening and welcome to Sewell Group Craven Park in the east side of the city of Hull. It is a bitterly cold and windy night here. We wouldn't expect much else in March, but I am delighted to welcome pitchside John Wilkin and a man who is celebrated on both sides of the city, Paul Cook. Delighted to have your company here. I want to cast your mind back to round 1 when these Hull KR and Hull FC met in a big derby game. Hull FC coach Tony Smith saying before that game that Hull FC were no longer top dogs in the city. As a man who lives in the city and has played for both clubs, would you agree with that?
Yeah, absolutely. There's no question about it that, Hull KR have been the most consistent team over the last 3 or 4 years. Made playoffs and been in a Challenge Cup final. And unfortunately for Hull FC, the last success that they did have was in 2016 and 2017 in the Challenge Cup, and scarcely have made playoffs since then.
Are you seeing and hearing that rise in confidence among the Hull KR supporters that you encounter on the streets of this city, this rugby league mad city?
Yeah, absolutely. There's no question about that. They strive success, and I think the next step for the club is to get that success. It's okay making Challenge Cup finals and losing by a golden point. Making semi-finals like they have done and made finals the last couple of years. They also did that under Tony Smith too. It's about time that the club moved on and got over the line in one of the big ones.
With that expectation, though, John Wilkin, as a man who's played for Hull KR as well way back when, there is pressure, and there's pressure on Hull KR tonight to bounce back from that disappointing defeat and also perform as well as they did in 2023.
Yeah, I think there's external pressure, Brian, and there's pressure from the fans, but I think the most important pressure that exists at Hull KR now is what's within the dressing room and the pressure that Willie Peters puts on his team to be almost pitch perfect every week. Now, they weren't last week, but that pressure in the changing room, that's the most powerful pressure in sport. OK, well, we will see if they are smarting after that defeat to Salford. Let's go to Jenna Brooks, who's standing not far from us here. She's going to give us a news update and tell us just how cold she is. Jenna.
Cold? It's not cold. Maybe you need a thicker coat. Yeah, let's start with some significant news from the women's competition. St Helens first team players for the first time this season will receive match payments. Of course, it's hugely exciting news for the players and a huge step in the right direction. But now to a double injury blow for the Lee Leopards. They're going to be without Tom Briscoe and John Asiata for at least the next 6 weeks. Both players suffering a grade 2 calf tear last week at St Helens. And speaking of that game, we saw John Asiata shown a yellow card for this tackle on Sione Matatia. Well, this week he found out that he'd face no further sanction. The same cannot be said for the likes of Leeds Rhinos, James Bentley, Sydney, from the Giants, Adam Milner, from Saints, Conrad Hurrell, and from the Black and Whites, Jack Brown. All 4 players have been suspended for 1 game. But now to the NRL. We all know it got underway last week in Vegas, so I can tell you that representatives from Rugby League Commercial were there and held discussions with the NRL. While there's no firm plans set in stone for Super League's involvement in Vegas next year, I'm told that they will continue the discussions next month at the International Federation meeting. I also spoke to Rugby League Commercial about the speculation surrounding the NRL and their interest in purchasing Super League. Well, I've been told that no formal discussions have really taken place as of yet.
Thank you very much, Jenna. I wonder, could we read into that no informal discussions have taken place, and it may be pie in the sky. We will see. Jenna will keep us abreast of that. Listen, let's pick up on Hull KR's performance and defeat to Salford. Sam Tompkins was our studio guest last week. He said it's a game they should be winning. They came away bitterly disappointed. Your remarks on their performance would be what?
Yeah, I thought they were tactically naive. I think they went into the game with a plan to sort of play around Salford. Salford's edges were incredibly aggressive. And look, I almost played into that trap set by Salford. And not only that, it took them way too long to recognise that and change how they played. You know, contrast that to maybe Salford with Mark Sneyd, who had imperious form. This is a try in the second half where Hull KR finally worked out going back through the middle of the field in those conditions was the right thing to do. You contrast that to Salford when they had Mark Sneyd, who's pulling all of the strings and able to control a game, which he did so beautifully. And then you just look at the absence of Jordan Abdul and now the pressure on Mikey Lewis and Tyrone May. It's almost playing a natural style of game for them.
Okay, lots to unpack in that, because Willie Peters did say after that round 1 win over Hull FC, he wants Mikey to be more of an organising half. Why were Hull KR favourites to win that game against Salford? They didn't win because of the strength of their squad. I'd put it to you, Paul Cook, they're a very strong squad, still finding what their best 13 is.
Well, I think that is exactly that. When you look at the 2 halves, they both play a real natural football game. And trying to find an organiser within that, or make somebody an organiser, is terribly difficult to coach into someone. Sometimes I just believe the natural ability of a player being able to run a ship and make sure that everyone stays on the same page. I thought that Mark Sneyd taught them a lesson last week. I thought that Mark Sneyd taught both the Hull KR halves a lesson in how to manage a game, but also how to adapt within 90 minutes.
Well, it's unlikely they'll change from Tyrone May and from Mikey Lewis. What about Peta Hiku at fullback? Such a crucial position that ties in with the halves that Paul has just referred to here, where they got Niall Evans unable to make that position his own. They're going to stick with Peta Hiku.
Well, it's talk of the town over here, Brian. It's whether Peta Hiku can do the job at full-back. Obviously, a centre by trade. Look, he's done some things fantastically well. He's second in metres made. I don't think there's any question that this man can make metres and can carry the ball well. But the question is, does he know the nuanced style that you need to be able to play full-back? As I said, coming out of backfield, look, he carries it strong. He makes metres. But there's so many more elements to being a fullback. It's such a nuanced position.
A very good rugby league player, but maybe not a very good fullback.
Yeah, and that's it. You're talking about a guy who's played the majority of his career at 3 or 4 at centre, right or left, and has made a hell of a job of that as well. To get around the field, you clock up more kilometres. You've got to get everybody in position defensively. You've got to get on the end of every play. You've got to get on the end of every kick. It's not natural again. For me, it's like you're trying to almost find a position within a group of players to play a player, and they've brought him over to try and make him their fullback. It's really difficult to make a player who's played centre all of his career a fullback.
Well, if they don't play him at fullback, they've already got 2 centre positions occupied by Gildart and Opacek, so they're pretty comfortable. Let's talk about goal kicking, because if it's a tight game here, that might be all important. It's not a point we haven't made before. They've gone into the season without a recognised goal kicker. They have landed upon, by default, Jez Litton, who's kicked 6 from 6 so far. So that on itself sounds pretty good. The only problem is, and this is the other part of the question, he's on the interchange bench for parts of the game.
It's not only 6 from 6, Brian. You're talking 6 from 6 in one game. Now, you stretch that out over a season when you miss 2 or 3 on the bounce. And when that happens, having been a goal kicker myself, when it happens, it's really difficult then to kick your 4th one. You know, even if you're towards a post. And I think we saw that with Peta Hiku within the Derby game. When he misses that one at the end, he's almost willing it to go over.
But there's another point to this, and that is that your goal kicker may be on the bench. You may, and Willie spoke about this after the Salford one. I'm trying to get Jez back on the field.
Well, Jez Litton's going to get gassed in a game, right? People run at him. He's in the middle of the field. I'll be surprised if Warrington just putting traffic his way tonight, he's going to need a rest. And when he's rested, if there's a big kick to be made, it just raises the question. Look, it's been a brilliant start for OKR. I think Pete is a question mark, and also the kicking of those conversions is a question mark, but not a problem we can't solve.
You're onto something there. Jez Litton averaged 45 minutes in 2023. He's averaging, I know it's only 66 minutes so far, so maybe the solution is to get more minutes out of Jez Litton.
Well, they got 80 against Leeds here. They got 80 minutes out of him where he kicked 6 from 6, but they had no Matt Parcell because he was suspended. So it meant Jez stayed out there for the duration of the game. When the games get quicker, when the grounds firm up, then you're certainly not going to see Jez Litton out there for a number of minutes. It's really difficult.
He's such a tidy player as well, really important for OKR, pulls a lot of strings and running threat. And you know, when you're a kicker as well, that can occupy so much mental capacity, almost worry. You worry about those. And you know, when you're in a position, we saw it with Harry Smith at Wigan last year, it almost becomes this dark cloud that follows you around. Well, OKR don't want to be getting 7, 8, 9, 10 rounds in and this cloud still be around.
Well, it's not something that just affects Hull KR. Just before we go to Jenna with their coach, Willie Peters, I'll just give you Warrington stats. There is no Stefan Ratchford, of course, who was kicking at 85% last year. Peter Matauti is no longer at the club, kicked 1 from 2. Josh Thulis, who will play here tonight, has kicked 1 from 2. So it may be George Williams, the returning George Williams, that gets kicking duties for Warrington. Let's hear from Hull KR's head coach, Willie Peters, who's standing by with Jenna.
Yeah, thanks very much, Brian. Willie, would you say an unexpected defeat at Salford last week?
Oh, look, Salford deserved the win. They played the conditions better. I thought Mark Seed was exceptional. But we've got to improve tonight. We weren't happy with that performance, and we need to improve tonight.
Speaking of tonight, Sam Burgess says that it's your team that the pressure's on, that his team arrive as the underdogs. Would you agree?
He's good, isn't he? What's his reasoning for that? Look, I think, it's a 50-50. It's going to be a good game. As I said, we want to improve on last week. As long as we do that, then, yeah, we'll be okay.
Well, you know Sam Burgess well. He's a good friend of yours. You previously worked together, of course, at South Sydney. Is it too early, though, to know what a Sam Burgess coach Warrington side look like?
Yeah, I always say round 10 is when you probably get an understanding of what a team looks like. But I've got no doubt. I think Sam's going to be a very, very good coach. He was an exceptional player. He's a great person, Sammy. And, time will tell, but he'll make his mark as a coach.
Willie Peters, all the best tonight.
Thanks, Jenna. Cheers. Thank you.
Yeah, an opportune time as you join us for the first time this year, Paul Cook, to get your thoughts on Sam Burgess's new era as a head coach in Super League.
Well, listen, as Willie's just said, he was a fantastic player. He's obviously started his coaching within the NRL and teams. He started in a lower grade as well. I'm sure he will be a very, very good coach. Unfortunately, he's not playing anymore. And as a player, you wanted him on the field with you and in the trenches with you. Well, he can't do that anymore. I'm really fascinated to see how the Warrington team change in terms of the mindset and, the doggedness that he showed on the field. Can you instill that into a player? Can you coach it into a player or not?
OK, if he does, let's pick up on the point that Jenna put to Willie Peters. Sam Burgess has said we're underdogs, talking about Warrington, and he made Willie Peters side favourites. And Willie says, what's the basis for that? If you have to win a competition, I'll put this question to you both. You want to win Super League in 2024, you've got a better chance with whose squad tonight? Hull KR's or Warrington's?
I think Hull KR's. I like Hull KR's squad. I like the balance of it. I think they're working out combinations. For me, Warrington had this reputation for years of bringing in star players. Now, if you go back to when they were successful Challenge Cup winning teams, maybe 2012, 2019, you could argue the squads were better then. They had a better squad and they had probably more star players at that time. So I believe the key for Sam to get the best out of Warrington Wolves, 1, develop young players. Connor Wrench, Josh Thulis, develop your own young players and then build an identity that's not based on recruiting expensive talent from elsewhere. And if he can do that and distill his personality into that team, then he's got something, but they're not there yet.
Pick up on that point. What say you? The stronger squad? The favourites tonight?
I think I agree with John. I think the more balanced squad and the stronger squad overall is Hull KR. I think their players hit a level of 8, 9 out of 10 more often than the Warrington players do. And that's something that's really intrigues me as to how Sam can change that. How can you make your team more consistent? How can you make them defend better? Because they certainly had tries within them and points within them, no matter which team they've had over which amount of years. What the struggle for them has been to stop the opposition scoring.
What they do have, is, in the words of Willie Peters, they have the best halfback in the competition in George Williams, returning from injury in this game. And this is a very opportune return. Josh Drinkwater ruled out through injury. George Williams is a man that could sparkle on any stage.
Yeah, without doubt. It's not ideal conditions for people who are watching at home. This pitch is heavy. The wind is bitterly cold. So it's not ideal conditions for a top-of-the-ground player like George Williams. But he's got world-class pedigree. And do you know what? He can make it happen on any pitch, on any night. He is, without doubt, an asset coming back into the team. But as I couldn't agree with Cookie more. Their challenge is not scoring points. It's not George Williams making line breaks. It's stopping the other team. And they've got to be able to develop that steal.
We will dive into that shortly. We're going to hear from the Warrington Wolves head coach first. Sam Burgess standing by with Jenna.
Yeah, thank you very much, Brian. Sam Burgess, barring Castleford's first try last week, how impressed were you by your team's defence?
Yeah, I was happy with our performance. I thought we weathered the storm quite well. They brought a lot of energy early, tested it out, so yeah, I was happy. Still things we can work on, but overall we're pretty good.
Would you say that defence has been your main focal point since arriving in Warrington?
Yeah, we spent a lot of time there. We spent a lot of time on our defensive stuff. And the guys really wanted to change that about the club. So they've really bought into what we're doing. And they're starting to enjoy it a bit, which is good. We'll be tested tonight. Hull KR are a dangerous team, so we'll see if our practice pays off.
You said that you and your team arrive as the underdogs. The pressure's on Willie Peters' side tonight. Why do you think that's the case?
Oh, this crowd's pretty lively. They're hard to beat here. They're coming off a loss, so they'll be fired up. I know Willie, and they'll be ready for the game tonight. So I don't think many people are giving us a chance. So I like that position.
Willie Peters this week called your halfback, George Williams, the best halfback in the competition. How good is it to have him back?
Yeah, it's great to have him back. He's a great professional. He's pushed himself hard to get back in this position. And luckily, really, we lost Josh Drinkwater from the game on the weekend with a quad strain. So things worked out quite well. But it's good to have him back. He's great leadership. And he competes extremely hard, and all the little things that we drive, and he lives and breathes it. So it's good to have him on the field.
And what can we expect from his partnership with Leon Hayes?
Oh, we'll wait and see. It's their first one together. I spent a bit of time there in pre-season, so it's exciting for the club, for Leon, for George, for the town. And there's no better place to do it. Full house here today at Hull KR, so we're looking forward to that.
You mentioned Josh Drinkwater. How long will he be out for?
Well, he's got a quad strain, so they're pretty delicate things, and Josh is quite delicate, so he's a halfback, so it will be 3 to 4 weeks, but we won't push him too hard because they can be recurring if you come back too early.
Okay, thanks for your honesty, Sam Burgess. Good luck.
No, thanks, Jenna. Thanks. Cheers, guys.
Josh Drinkwater's just dived under his couch. Hearing that from his head coach, Sam Burgess. I want to pick up on a couple of points he made to Jenna there. And one was that first 20 minutes against Castleford. If you watch that game back, Castleford were absolutely the match of Warrington in that opening 20 minutes. Warrington absorbed everything that Castleford threw at them and then hit back. We'll pick up on that point. We'll talk about their defence, though, as well, John.
Yeah, I just think for Warrington, if their aspiration is to be a top 1 or 2 side, well, they've got to defend well. I think the only alarming thing was the ease at which Castleford scored the first try. Look, they made a break, and then, look, this is too easy. There's no shape, there's no real stress, there's no push from Warrington's inside line, and it's all really passive. And that was an easy try early on in the game. Now, Warrington went on and defended much better than that. And they need this sort of desperation. And you can get that through a team or individuals. I think Lachlan Fitzgibbon has been exceptional for Warrington. And his attitude and effort to stop that try, they're the moments, they're the big things that really matter. And actually, when you look at the teams that win the competition, they concede what? Look, Wigan last year, 13 points. Warrington this year at 11.3, and we can see the transition from 2022 when they're up at 24.5 points. For me, the message is simple for Sam. All we need to do is eliminate 1 try a game, and we're almost champion-level defence.
Defence is going to be hugely important. It is a step up in class from the sides they've faced in the last 2 weeks, with all due respect to Hull FC and to Castleford. This is a different beast here.
Yeah, I don't think there's any question about that. I think they will get tested more tonight than they have done in the first 3 rounds of the competition. When you consider Catalan went down to 12 players, and then they beat a Hull FC team who, struggled with a sending off, and then they get over the line last week against Castleford after conceding that try early. I think it's a real interesting word that you use there, delicate. I think that can be said about the whole team and the whole club over the years. When it goes wrong, it goes catastrophically wrong for them. And it's like everybody's really delicate and fragile within their group.
I'll back him up. Right, last year, when things weren't going well, I think Jenna interviewed somebody, one of the players, and he said, oh, we're just happy now. You know, we're feeling better and happier now.
Does seem to have been a traumatic couple of years.
Yeah, but I'm like, what's happiness got to do with your performance on the field? I get, look, being happy is great, but you have a responsibility as a professional to perform. Warrington haven't performed at the top level. We've also got to separate the shirt with the current squad, and I also think the aspirations of Warrington to be a top team, when I don't think their squad's actually been a top team for a few years. I don't think they've had a top 3 or 4 team for a few years in terms of the recruitment. I'll say this, Sam coming in, there's so much to do culturally and change things and all of this. That's why picking one thing and having clarity and simplicity with one thing is important, and that's why, for me, if Warrington want to be a champion team, they've got to defend and defend better than they have.
Some might they say he's not dragging them exactly from the bottom of the table. They did finish 6th. I know it was a disappointment for them. They did finish 6th last year and into the playoffs as well. So he's not got a mountain to climb position-wise on the table.
But in terms of, in terms of improvement, he's got to improve from 6, and that's not going to be easy against the teams that finished in the top 5 last year, or them with aspirations to get up there. I think there's so much to do. I agree with John. He's right in focusing on one point. But listen, once you start getting that right, there's something else. There's another fire. There's somebody else to start thinking about. There's somebody else on the edge that's not performing great. There's a hell of a lot to do. Warrington are notorious for going out and signing what they believe are the best players and the best names on paper. Now, I don't think that works in rugby league. I think you know, if you go back to the Salford days of Marwan Kukash, when he signs a raft of players that are the best players in the competition at the time, but you've got to gel them players together. I think you've got to get an identity about the club, and that's where Sam's got to get everything together and sign players that he wants, that he trusts and understands to play the game his way.
Okay, plug everything you both have said into tonight's game then. For the Warrington Wolves, a benchmark game, because they're facing a step up in class of opposition, and we'll get a better idea of where they stand in 2024 after tonight's game.
Yeah, without doubt, it's the biggest test of the season so far. Willie Peters' teams are stinging from last week, and they will really challenge Warrington defensively at times tonight.
Okay, you guys have warmed me up. It's a cold Sewell Group Craven Park here in Hull, but we have got red-hot Super League action the other side of this break for you here on Sky Sports. Hull KR looking to bounce back from round 3's defeat to Salford. The Warrington Wolves looking for 3 consecutive victories here in season 2024. Kickoff on the way.
A chance for the Robins. It's a Ryan Hall slides in. Here we go. It's Hull Kingston Rovers night by a distance. And Warrington get another try. Down the left-hand side, Ashton again. Here's Hayes. Danny Walker is over to score. Warrington take the lead.
The Wolves of 2024 will be determined to fix themselves back up amongst the leaders of the Betfred Super League. They open up round 4 now on Sky Sports against the team who saw their unbeaten start to the season come to a sudden stop at Salford last Saturday. Willie Peters making just one change to that 17. He had given Joe Burgess a start against his former side. Joe is replaced by Niall Evalds, who'll play in the number 2 shirt. Keep an eye on Ryan Hall, who is closing in every week on Danny Maguire's all-time Super League try-scoring record of 247 tries. Currently, Ryan Hall on 241. Well, Warrington's outing against the Castleford Tigers was a productive one, but it has come at a cost. No Josh Drinkwater, he's absent through injury. So there's a timely return for George Williams, the England captain. He'll play for the first time in the halves alongside young starlet Leon Hayes. Conor Wrench comes back into the centre positions. Stefan Rashford has to make way. And after injury and suspension, Jordy Crowther is brought back onto the bench by coach Sam Burgess. So 3 changes for the Wolves. Well, they have identical records in season 2024 so far. We asked you in a poll whether or not you thought Hull KR would reach this year's grand final. They're 14-1 to win it. 87% of you said no, it will not be Hull KR's year. We've already spoken about Petahiku, of course. Matt Duffy, worth mentioning, gentlemen, who had a stunning game at times against Castleford, particularly in attack.
Yeah, Matt Duffy's a dangerous ball carrier. Against loose defences, Matt Duffy will have a day out. I don't think the question for Matt Duffy is doing that against Cass. It's doing that against Wigan or St Helens will be his biggest challenge. Warrington fans turn up here, don't they, with optimism. The Sam Burgess here has brought in this optimism, and they need to deliver on that, and I think they can deliver on that. But tonight is so fascinatingly poised. Because
you don't think they'll deliver tonight?
I don't. Just because of the result last week. Hull KR's performance against Salford makes me feel like I can't believe Willie Peters is going to let his side put a performance on like that against 9,500, 10,000 Hull KR fans.
Yeah, I have to agree with John. I think Hull KR will get it done tonight. I don't think there'll be much in it, Brian, by any stretch. I think the conditions dictate that it will stay, finally balanced and poised, and there won't be too many points within it. Look, it's a really fascinating game because Hull KR are off the back of what is a disappointing defeat.
We've made much of the pressure on Warrington, historic pressure on Warrington, but there is absolutely pressure on Hull KR. Expectation after a fourth-place finish last year, Challenge Cup final position as well. They'll be expected to do at least that again this year, which won't be easy.
We spoke about that earlier, the external pressure from everybody in the crowd and the club and the supporters. And as John said earlier, it's about the players responding to that pressure and getting over the line. I think it was a disappointing loss last week, as disappointing as you would see Willie Peters be within the rest of this season.
Will they respond? Pitch side, Paul Cook and John Wilkins say it'll be Hull KR's night. I wonder what say you. John Wells and Mark Wilson are standing by in our commentary booth. Gentlemen, good evening.
Yeah, good evening, Brian. A chance for both sides to turn a decent start into a good one. Willie Peters looking on. Warrington did the double over his side last year. There's Aaron Moore, the man in the middle. Looking forward to this one alongside John Wells. And John, a chance to pick up a third win of the season, as I said, turn a decent start into a good one.
Yeah. 4-1 looks a heck of a lot better, doesn't it, for the Warrington Wolves than 2-2. And you don't want to be taking that 2-2, that 50% in. I'm really interested to see how Hull KR respond. I thought they were below par last week in suffering that first defeat of the season, and their home record is strong, Mark. For Warrington, well, look, they'll be looking to take another step forward. For me, all that centres on reducing their errors in possession, something that I think they got away with last week against the better sides in Super League. I think they'll be found out, and I think Hull KR are one of the better sides in Super League.
Okay, well, we'll see how they get on here tonight. Two teams with serious Super League aspirations. The Robins moving along their line across to this near side. Good tackling so far from the Wolves. King involved as they'll go back centre field. Manchella carries strong. No offload on this occasion. That will be the fifth tackle. And Jez Litton will look to supply the ball to Lewis. And Lewis hoists it high. It's a cold, chilly night here. Nice catch at the back from Dufty. And the Wolves bring it back. Their first defensive set in the bank. What do we make of that?
Yeah, solid defensive set. Again, I think that what's been the Achilles heel for Warrington has been these carries 2 and 3 out of their own end. I think they really struggled at times, switched off mentally against Castleford last week. Josh Dewlis was actually responsible for 2 or 3 of those. They cut those out. I think it's a different proposition.
Well, there is Dewlis right on cue with a good carry. And the visitors up towards the halfway line here, looking to make inroads into Robins' territory, and they'll do that now. What will their end of set look like? Danny Walker will get the ball away, and it's hoisted high by Hayes. And on this near side, underneath it is Evalds. Good kick chase as well. Nowhere to go for Evalds on that occasion. And now cuts infield. There is Peter Hiku, made of his start to life as a Robin back in Super League. Did have a spell, of course, with the Wolves in 2017. Big year ahead for him and the Robins as they move it across the field. Hadley takes it in. Warrington defending so far so good. Quick play around the ruck area. Lewis injects himself into the game. In at dummy half. May will go downfield. A little bit of a hesitation at the back, but eventually picked up on the full. And it will be returned by Matty Ashton. And he'll start play on the Warrington 20-metre line.
Yeah, both sides will be reasonably happy, I think, with their opening exchanges. 2 complete sets for each side. This is that game of chess, isn't it? That's not always starts the game off fatigue will start to set in 7 or 8 minutes in.
We were here a few weeks ago, weren't we, for the Leeds game. The pitch was particularly bad. There are still a few spots we've seen digging up early on here in the centre of the field as Harrison carries forward.
I think that's one of the things they've got to do really well. Just restrict the meters, the two big guys. I mean, Harrison and Paul Vaughan, this man in particular. Look, he's averaging stupid stats, 161 metres a game, and 80 odd of those are post-contact, after contact. That's really impressive stuff.
He was looking for a penalty there as the kick towards touch. Rolls over the touchline. Williams, good to see him back for Warrington. Stabs the kick over the top and just trying to pen each other in at the moment. We await, as you mentioned, John, that first error. Who's going to crack first?
Yeah, I think for Hull KR, if they get themselves into a position where they're dominant in the tackle defensively, I think that really that hamstrings Warrington. So much of the stuff that I've seen from them this year has come off the back of dominating in the middle of the field.
Well, did well to hold on to that. Tanganoa will carry. There's Harrison. Clamps the ball in. There's the front row, 8, 9, 10. Working hard, centre of the field. Hall comes in. Valuable metres up to the 30-metre line. Now a scoop from dummy half. Gonna go forward there from the Robins as Hadley will get it away to May. Quick hands, but it's put down. And there is the first error. And it's picked up by Hayes, and Warrington will get the first real attacking chance.
Yeah, unnecessary as well, just a forced pass on a spread. He predetermined he was going to pass that ball. And it was Batchelor who just couldn't take it in. Warrington will get a good early look.
He will. Here's Fitzgibbon, one of the new signings. Gets the ball away. Vaughan will carry. He's well met. Good tackle there from Batchelor and Minchella. But they're 20 metres away. They're going to play here. Little tip pass from Williams. Gets it away to Dufty. Oh, smart hands here. Attacking on that far side is Hewless, but he's well met by Ryan Hall. But that was a smart bit of handling from the Warrington Wolves. And they've got a chance. They've got a player down. I'm looking. Is that Hayes that's down? It's Curry, we think. Yeah, Ben Curry was getting a bit of treatment. Here come Warrington then. Williams with a step. Trying to work his way through the middle. Last tackle incoming here. Warrington momentarily a player down with Curry still down. Here now is Hayes with a kick. That's a decent kick. They want it to roll dead here. Hulkinston Rovers. And eventually it was touched down by Hiku, who in fairness left it as long as he could.
Yeah, not much more that Hiku could have done there. Look, it's a big night for the Hull KR right edge defence. I think Opicic out there, Tyrone May, James Batchelor. Because the Warrington Wolves, that centre-left channel for them in attack, they've scored 8 tries in 3 games. That's double the rest of the tries anywhere else on the field combined. There's a real big job for them defensively tonight.
Yeah, Sam Burgess looking on. Be reasonably happy with the opening 6 minutes here. As the goal line restart is collected. And here comes Vaughan on the charge. So Warrington then with the first attacking bit of pressure. They were held out on their opening set. What can they do here from the repeat set? As Walker wanted a quicker play of the ball. Harrison tries to step past the onrushing defender. But the tackle made on that 20-metre line. Centre of the field. Hayes with a little step. And Warrington now will come back to this near side. Good hands there in the end from Harrison. Nowhere for him to go. Wrapped up by May. They've got numbers on the short side. They dummy and then do go down the short side. Little dummy there from Dufty. Fires it in and it's a great pass and Williams is over. George Williams been missing for the last couple of weeks for the Warrington Wolves. Well, he's back with a bang. And the Wolves lead, much to the delight of their travelling contingent. Hulkinston Rovers 0, Warrington 4.
What a great opening salvo for the Warrington Wolves. They earned themselves a repeat set with a cute kick down the left, and then the second opportunity, they show right. Dufty aborts the attempt and skips back across the middle. He's waiting for a switch off. He finds it in the form of Dean Hadley, who just for a second abandoned his post. And George Williams, well, doesn't need a second invitation, does he? He opens the scoring for the visitors. And what a welcome return to Super League for that man.
Such a valuable player to this Warrington team. The England captain, of course. Now, conversion to come, and it's Ulis who is kicking. We mentioned the issues that Hulkingston Rovers have had with the kicking. Well, Warrington have been going around the houses as well, haven't they?
Yeah, but he's a fair kicker, is Josh Ulis. Interesting looking at the points scored and points conceded this year. The Robins have averaged conceded 4 tries in 3 games. So at this rate, at this pace, those stats are going to get blown out of the water by the Warrington Wolves. Really, really fast start. And Willie Peters has got some thinking to do.
He certainly has, as Ulis adds the extras to Williams' try. You mentioned that Dufty had a change of mind, but this pass right on the money.
And his pass selection's much improved as well. We all know him as a runner, dangerous runner. I covered the game where they played and beat Castle the Tigers last week, and he was mercurial at times. But that pass selection, and it comes with maturity and experience, and good players around you running good lines, which is what George Williams did.
So Warrington then will get the chance to bring it off their own end of the field. Can the Robins force an error? It was that error, of course, that drop pass that led to that passage of play. It's Harrison who's had a busy start to the night. It's just outside the 20-metre area. They're going to play it close to the ruck again. Robins will just want to try and contain the meters early on here. There's another carry from Vaughan, who's looking to offload. This time has to succumb centre field. We're short of the halfway line though here for Warrington. This has been a decent set on the back of points, and they're going to get a chance to pen Hulkea deep here. They'll go high with a kick. Hiku and Evolds at the back. Evolds calls for it. We'll bring it forward, but there's a pretty good chase to stop him on the 20-metre line.
Yeah, good set. They'll be very happy with how they've started the game again after scoring the first try of the game. I'm just interested to see how Dufty's been used there. So they're sending him in 4th tackle, just with footwork to try and get a quick play the ball. That allows Leon Hayes there to kick off a front foot.
There is Matt Dufty. And a big impact early on in the new season as Curry makes the tackle. New role for him as well at loose forward, as Robins will kick from dummy half, and it will just land in the field of play and find touch on the far side from Litton. And Warrington will get the ball back.
Yeah, not a bad option that. I think they need that 30 seconds just to clear the heads, reset, regroup.
Not conceded too many points, Hulkingston Rovers, this season, but 22 scored at Hull. They got 22 against Leeds here and only 10 last week, so maybe not as many points early in the season attacking-wise as they would like.
No, 54 points, 10 tries they've scored in 3 games. Look, I think they'll be really happy. Not happy with that. They conceded a penalty and really invited Warrington down the field again. They'll be happy with the defence so far in the opening 3 rounds, not with the opening 10 minutes of this game.
Yeah. Chilla was who was adjudged to not be square. Another attacking chance for Warrington then, as they start on tackle 1. 30 metres out. Willing to play it there. Oh, a bit of a push out there. Fitzgibbon clearly took exception to that. Now they'll move it centre field to Vaughan, who tries to bump off Litton. Minchella adds his weight to the challenge to knock Vaughan to the ground. Walker, centre field, will get it away now to Williams. Short pass. 15 away here. Warrington looking to get another try on the board early on here. Vaughan centre field. Wrapped up 10 out. The Robins on their line. Numbers left and right. They're going to go right here. Williams rolls a kick in. There's pressure here. It's fumbled by Hall. He's dropped it. But did that touch the line before Walker got it down? We're going to have to check this one. Ryan Hall with a fumble behind the line.
I've got no try.
Referee says on the field, no
Just
try.
check the grounding and dead ball line, please, mate.
Comes from a kick. It's tackle 4, we've got no try. We're checking grounding, please. It comes from a kick, so first angle on the foot, please. Williams is the kicker. Yeah, ball on foot. Everyone to the right is onside. Let's play this through. Okay, at this point, that's always off Ryan Hall. And it pays back, and we've got something from the other corner just to check that it doesn't hit the Warrington man. This angle, please. So that's okay. Always off Hall, always off Hall. And that's backwards from Hall. Doesn't come off Warrington. So we'll go back to the other angle, please. And this angle, slow, slow, slow. And if you got something from the corner, just to make sure that is on the ground at that point, just go back a couple of frames. Keep going. Yeah, go forwards now, please. And that ball touches the line before it is touched by Warrington. Thank you, I've made my decision.
So we've seen the replay there. And you saw that that ball did touch the in-goal line.
No try. It's off right and all. It's a goal line dropout.
It was a very, very fine margin indeed. Goal line dropout it is. Ryan Hall will be breathing a huge sigh of relief.
Yeah, but it's the next best thing for the Warrington Wolves. They've already enjoyed 2/3 of the possession in the opening 12 minutes of this game. They're going to get another shot.
Stay behind, boys. Stay behind.
Ryan Hall, as we said, closing in, 6 behind his old mate Danny Maguire. Top of the Super League try scorers list. Will he close that tonight? Well, taken in the end there by Leon Hayes. Enjoying a good run, and with Drinkwater out for a few more weeks, then Leon Hayes has got the shirt at the moment. As the Robins defend, 35 out from their own line. It's been all Warrington so far, deservedly in front. Now the ball turned back to Ben Curry.
Defended aggressively as well, the first 3 sets, first 3 tackles.
Yeah, Walker gets it away now. Now they're looking to move it. Now they're going to kick in behind here. There's a chance for Ashton if he gets the bounce. The ball's free and it's grounded. Now how did Matty Ashton get that? Has he scored his 4th try of the season? The video referee is going to be in action again here. But this time, they think on the field it's a try.
It's tackle 3, we've got a try. We're checking onside, offside, through to grounding, please. First one on the foot. All chases to the left are onside at this point. I'll just track the 2 or 3 players to the right-hand side. Leon Hayes is the kicker. Matty Ashton's onside on this. And everybody's outside of 10. So we're okay at this point. We're just going to go close in on this now to see if it comes off. Slow on this. That's a genuine contest for the ball, and they're going shoulder to shoulder towards a loose ball. Right, go back again, please. Let me just check where it touches Ashton. Keep going back, please. Back, please. Back. Right, here now, please. We established that's a genuine contest going towards a loose ball, shoulder to shoulder. So we'll run it through now, please. Bouncing ball. Never touches anybody's hands at this point. This is still play on. And that's collected by Matty Ashton. And the ball is grounded. Thank you, I've made my decision.
Yeah, that Warrington left-hand side comes up dividends again. Matty Ashton is over. A fair contest for the ball, and he is on hand to ground it. And Warrington have got their 2nd try. They lead by 10 points to 0.
Really smart stuff from the Warrington Wolves. They opened up the field early-ish in the tackle count as well. So Petter Hiku more involved with the defensive line. Sometimes fullbacks sit a little shallower early in the tackle count. Opened the field up, pulled up that right edge defence, and then dropped a kick in behind to one of the fastest men in Super League.
Tough kick this from the sideline for Josh Stewlis, who struck his first one pretty well. 5 in from touch, that's the angle he's got. Super League's Young Player of the Year.
Thanks, Jack.
Here's the kick, but he's pulled that wide of the target, but 10 points to 0 based on what we've seen in the opening 14 minutes is probably a fair reflection.
Absolutely, I don't think it's what anybody expected, but it's certainly what Warrington have delivered. You see Hickel's really shallow early in the tackle count, and they were aggressive. That entire set they were aggressive. Don't forget, came from a dropout, a repeat set, and they've just been caught out. Smart piece of play. Own the field up, bring up the defence, drop the kick in behind. Really well executed.
So here come the Wolves again. The Robins looking to force an error, try and get some territory and field position of their own, but at the moment, too much defending for the red and whites. And a very strong opening 15
for the Wolves as Vaughan throws himself into a challenge. Again, they'll work close to the hook area. Danny Walker already poised for his next runner, and he finds Dufty, who injects himself into it. And look where he is, he's up towards the halfway line, and the markers are not square there, so there's room here to work. Williams has kicked in behind, and the Robins, I think they'll be happy that that's gone over the sideline.
Yeah, you see again the tactic. You got Dufty, the fullback, in really late in the tackle count. With the footwork that he's gone, invariably finds his front, quick play the ball, and then George Williams gets to take that kick attempt on the front foot. He has options, he has time to look up against the side, against no line speed whatsoever.
Crowd here, looks so good. Craven Park getting a little bit edgy early on. Their side have not had too much success so far. Plenty of time to turn it around though. As Hayes makes the tackle, and forward goes Batchelor. Strong carry. It's the Robins over their own 40-metre line. Ball now will work its way across to that far side. Tanganoa will cut back against the grain. On halfway, he will get it. Litton pops up the ball for Hadley. Hadley trying to get the arm free. That's a really strong carry. Better set this from Hull KR. What can they do with Lewis on the last? He's going to hoist it high. Dufty waits. Tries to set himself. Pressure coming. They've got it. What a catch from May. And he gets it down. The referee will want to check this. But Tyrone May might just have pinched Dufty's pocket right on the line. The Robins back in it. Or are they?
It's tackle 5. We've got a try on field. We're checking onside, offside, please. It comes from a kick. The Parcell is offside to the right. Tyrone May has both feet behind the ball. Let's run this through and just see where Litton is in relation. He doesn't get played on, but he's going to be outside the 10. That's going to be fine. We'll go in on the catch here, please, with Tyrone May. On that angle, it always appears to be okay. Can we check that with the corner camera, please? Yeah, this angle. That's always in Tyrone May's possession. And it appears the ball is grounded. We've got anything just behind the sticks just to confirm the grounding of the ball, please. So we're happy with everything else up until that point. We can run this through to grounded. Collects it clean. And the ball is grounded. Thank you, I've made my decision.
So Tyrone May has got his first Hull KR try. That was an amazing piece of skill to be running and catch the ball over his shoulder like that. That was quality. That's why Willie Peters brought him to the Robins, and the young Robins are delighted.
They've had no possession in opposition territory. Much of their own making and much to do with the start that the Warrington Wolves have had. But the combination there between Mikey Lewis and the timing with Tyrone May, and boy, he's just had a moment, hasn't he? He's climbed above Matt Dufty, who is one of the shorter fullbacks. You know, he's not renowned. He doesn't get off the floor to catch bombs. An awful lot of homework goes into these sorts of things. That's Matt Dufty's style. Well, you can't afford to do that when you've got someone coming through like Tyrone May.
Here is Jez Litton then, looking to add the conversion. Sends it forward, and the flags go up. And all of a sudden, the Robins are back within 4. Willie Peters, well, he doesn't look too happy. Neither does Sam Burgess for that matter, but May will be happy. That is an unbelievable piece of skill to do this at that speed.
Yeah, the timing's got to be perfect. There's no room for error whatsoever. And Tyrone May's got to trust at this point. He's now taking his eyes off anything else and removing from his vision anything else than the ball. There's a risk attached to that. And he's executed it wonderfully well.
So just what they needed. And it is worth saying, John, just a couple of drives before that try got them on the front foot.
Yeah, and it got him into that where you could have a bomb, where you could get a genuine challenge for the ball off the back of it.
We thought we were in for a decent game, and so far so good tonight. Here's Hadley again. This time he's pushed back just short of the halfway line. Litton waits at dummy half. The home crowd have found their voice now. There was a bit of a wobble there with the ball, but they held on to it, Minchella. And now they're going to kick again. Another high kick. This time Dufty's got time. Catches it, looks up, brings it forward. Gets the ball back. Another huge week of Rugby League. Storm Panthers tomorrow, 9:05 as the NRL continues. And then tomorrow night, Lee leads. Sky Sports action for that one. Castleford against Huddersfield and St Helens Salford. Remember, every game live and only live on Sky Sports. Saturday, London. Can they bounce back from the heartbreak of that late loss at Hull? They take on Wigan. And we round off the round with the Dragons against Hull FC. Every game live on Sky Sports. Warrington have made their way up towards halfway. Hayes will kick across to the corner. Hiku is there, picks it up right on the whitewash, looks to scoop back in field, makes a couple of post-contact meters as well. That's not a bad kick return from Hiku.
No, and improved the angle as well, got himself in field. Doesn't allow the Warrington Wolves to narrow up, and they get on the outside. Great feed, Gildart. That's another couple of yards, valuable yards, and a quick play the ball.
Yeah, he's all Wigan, mate. Williams brings him down, but here's Lewis. All of a sudden, Hull KR are on a real roll here. Bit of pace into the play for them, and it looks so much better on the back of it as they carry forward here with Whitbread. He's tackled just 32 metres out from the line. Litton looks short side to May. May's got runners outside him. He uses the short runner there. Batchelor is wrapped up. They're inside the 20 again. Last tackle incoming here. This time it's May. Sets himself, hoists it high. Not quite the depth maybe he would have wanted. Ball bounces and bounces kindly in the end. It's Connor Wrench who comes up with it. But they took a risk there, Warrington.
Yeah, no one calling that out and committing to the catch. It's been a good 3 or 4 minutes for Hull KR, hasn't it? Real momentum shift, because you made half the meters that the Warrington Wolves have had. They've had a third of the possession the Warrington Wolves have had.
Well, coming forward, just looking at the completion stats for Warrington, 100% so far, and yet they're only 4 points in front. Here's Vaughan, carries, last one incoming. Again, Hayes is the go-to, the teenager, arrows the kick in. Again, Hiku will collect it on the sideline. Again, he'll head in field. And he's wrapped up around about 25 out from his own line. Well, they rushed up on that right edge of defence there, Warrington. The Robins a couple of times have looked like they've had numbers. They've not pulled the trigger yet, though. Look at the stats, then we mentioned that 100% completion rate. Slightly more meters for Warrington, but that has been eroded as we speak. Certainly more tackles for the Robins so far, but here come the Robins again. Tanganoa up against Curry. 20 away, last one on the way. May gets it now, he's going to have a run. He's going to run it, gets a short pass away, Tanganoa! Oh, they put it down! They gambled, they went for the power play, and they almost broke open the Wolves.
Try-scoring opportunity, and it's the vision from Tyrone May. Sees a soft spot behind the ruck, and Kalepi Tanganoa, as he's trying to find the pass, what would have been a try-scoring pass to Niall of Olds, just loses possession. It was a great cover tackle, wasn't it? Had to be a great cover tackle on Tanganoa. They weren't going to get any second chances at that.
Better again from the home side.
But it just goes to show you, Mikey Lewis is a player when you're looking from the sidelines and you see him and he looks busy and he's involved and he's getting repeat efforts on the ball. That's when it's dangerous for oppositions. You see the two of them combine. Mikey Lewis and Tyrone May both combining on the front foot, allowed to play what's in front of them. Whoa, that's a horror show for Warrington.
It is. Well, so far so good for Sam Burgess' side. Won their last two, both at home, looking for a first away win of the season. Good carry forward, gets them up towards halfway. More valuable meters. Now they're going to go to Williams, who kicks low, and it should bounce up. Eventually is collected over on the far side. And it's brought forward by the Robins, who are 20 out from their own line. Up the middle come Hull KR again. Another good charge. Oh, well, I was going to say sport by a scruffy play of the ball, but the referee had a different opinion of that. And all of a sudden, the Robins are on a roll.
Yeah, just a hand in the ruck, just a little bit too much from the Warrington Wolves in defence.
Kick for touch is a good one. So, another opportunity for Willie Peters' side. Oh, swings its way to May. Short pass taken forward. So Vaughan makes way. Willie Crowther comes into the action. There's a ball now back down this short side. They're looking to play out the back here. Tackle is made. Wind whistling around us tonight here. Bitterly cold evening, but the rugby's warming us up nicely. As here's May, gets it away to Lewis. Lewis gets it away for Gildart. Flick pass out the back. Magic pass. And there's another Ryan Hall finish. He moves now within 5 of Danny Maguire. But more importantly tonight, the Robins are level. 10-10. But Gildart with a sublime assist. Hall levels it up.
Oh, what a response from Hull KR. They weathered a real storm early on for the Warrington Wolves, didn't they? Got out the traps really quickly, but they've gathered themselves. And that little bit of momentum, they're starting to win rucks. Open the field up, spread it, gets into the hands of Mikey Lewis, and he just takes his time. Takes his time, Lewis, pulls the trigger at the last moment, and then that's a sublime offload in contact from Oliver Gildart. Take a look at this from the reverse angle. This will be beautiful. This is important. Lewis takes it deep into that defensive line. Sucks in Connor Wrench. That is wonderful. That is absolutely outstanding skill from Oliver Gildart.
Beautiful. Plenty involved with that. Minchella, May, then Lewis, but that pass. Well, that's why they brought him in, for assists like that. And the coach gives his approval. We're all level. Hall moves closer to Maguire.
Ever closer. And he didn't have to break stride, did he, for that pass? That's what you know, again, we talked about the margins with Tyrone May's brilliant effort 5 minutes ago. No margin for error. No margin for error there. If Ryan Hall has to check his stride, there's an argument a Warrington Wolves defender gets to him. It was perfect.
Well, Jez Litton's been pretty good as the new Robins kicker. But this is a tough one. This is as tough as they come. Can he put Hull KR in the lead? Sends it on the way. That looks pretty good. That looks very good. Jez Litton. Well, the answer was there all along. Jez Litton boots the Robins in front. They lead 12-10.
They're just going to keep him on the field. He's not an intimidating player. Ryan Hall, he's been there and he's done that, and he's played outside some wonderful players. But Oliver Gildart had his name to that list, certainly in terms of try assist. Wow, that's something to watch. That is outstanding stuff.
Yeah, it's a pretty illustrious list that have played inside.
It's a long list. He's been going for 20 years.
He has. But he's still scoring the tries, his second of the season. And here he is now carrying it. And this is now what we're seeing more and more of him, those strong carries in midfield to get out of their own end.
Yeah, do you know what? I think his teammates will value that as much as the points scored.
There he is. Busy around the middle of the field is Litton.
Now you're starting to see there's a bit of fatigue setting into this game. You now start to see Litton really dangerous. Initial speed out of dummy half.
Here's Lewis, kicks downfield. It's a bit of a crossfield kick, and that in the end is really well dealt with by Ashton. I think he was expecting that to go in behind him, Ashton, and he did well to catch it on the full. Well, Warrington dominated the first part of this game, and now it's all Hull KR.
Yeah, breathed life into the Robins, didn't they? And it started off in the most innocuous way. It was just 1 or 2 tackles where Hull KR started to pull through, find the feet, but it's only that half-second difference between a quick play the ball and a slow one, and they've got the quality to play off the back of it, as Warrington are doing here.
Yeah, that's a great run from Thewlis to set up that quick play of the ball for Walker. Now on the last, they'll hoist it high towards this near side. Evalds is back, gets it away to Hiku. And Hiku will run it forward, but he's well met. May will wait. He gets the ball away. Driven forward. Well, Warrington, I think if you'd have offered Sam Burgess 100% completions 28 minutes into the game, he would have taken that, wouldn't he?
Absolutely. He wouldn't have taken the last 5 minutes, though. There's one team clearly on the front foot now.
There he is. Sam Burgess, a little bit of food for thought as we approach half-time. Misplaced pass still went to hand, and Lewis ducks under one tackle and just couldn't find a support runner on his outside. He'll play the ball now. This is the last one. May's going to hoist it high. It comes down 10 away, and in the end, really well taken by Dufty, who slipped one tackle but can't get past Suaso Su's on from the bench.
That was an important stop there from Suaso Su, because he'd clearly beaten that tackle. There was not much behind Suaso Su either. Yeah, needed to be made this. He skipped through the first tackle. Really good take to start with. Beats the first tackle. And I tell you what, if Suaso Su doesn't put hands on him there, there's a lot of green space and not many Robins defenders.
Yeah, that's right. There they go again. They are starting to generate a little bit of ruck speed when they're bringing the ball out close to their own line now, as Curry gets it away to Williams, but good tackle there. Really good tackle round the midriff. Stopped any danger there. This is the last one. Again, Hayes is going to kick, this time straight down the field. Hiku's well set, will catch it, 11 off his own line. The Primrose and Blue are there to meet him, but he'll still get up to the 30, and that's another good kick return from Hiku.
Yeah, he's chewing up the meters, isn't he? I think the boys covered it well at pitch side before the game. You know, one of his real strengths. You know, jury's probably still out as where the fullback's his best position. I'll tell you what, we're talking about Mikey Lewis. I felt he drifted in and out of the game last week against Salford. If I'm a Hull KR fan, I'm really liking it. He's got to have his hands on the ball 2 or 3 times a set for me.
Yeah, a one-handed pickup allows him to go at pace, and look at him pointing, organising. As now forward goes King. Determined carry from him. Going up against his brother tonight. Toby on the other side of the field. Here now is Lewis, who's going to stand up the kick. They're going to test out Thewlis. Thewlis did well to catch it. Maybe didn't quite get the pressure on him they would have wanted there.
No, but it's a decent place to start a set. And the Warrington walls look a bit flat.
Oh, look a bit more unhappy now because there's been a fumble. They're not happy, but George King is, and he gets pats on the back from his teammates. They force the error.
Yeah, it's an incorrect play, the ball. And he's protesting, but it's the ball carrier's responsibility here to play this correctly. He's not been able to do that. He's not regained his feet.
Well, they pen them in, and they get the dividends of that effort. So they'll start 10 metres out here. King will lay the platform. Options for Litton, who's pointing left but looking right, and he'll go to May. May drops the ball back for Sue, takes it forward. Scored here against Leeds a couple of weeks ago.
Stand up.
Litton waits again, fires the ball to May. May gets it away. Good defence, good one-on-one tackle there. Needed to be as well from Williams. Litton finds May, just drops the ball back to Minchella. Minchella with a footwork, gets the ball away, and here could be a chance here for May. Short pass to Batchelor. Oh, he's dropped it! He's dropped it over the line! A try goes begging. The referee will want to check it, but it looks like James Batchelor's dropped it.
Tackle free, we've got no try. We're just checking grounding, please, for a possible knock-on. It's through. It appears I was lost on that. We might need the other corner just to double-check it. They're making a tackle here on Batchelor. Run this through. That's a legitimate tackle, and the ball is lost forward in the in-goal area. Thank you, I've made my decision.
Oh, Elliot Minchella's wonderful offload in the middle of the field looked to have broken open Warrington. But Batchelor couldn't ground it. Could be another big moment in this match.
Oh, there's no doubt it's a big moment in the game. It's Fitzgibbon who gets over the top there, maybe just does enough to help dislodge that ball. It's a despairing tackle, isn't it? But, oh, Willie Peters. Yes, no.
The fine margins in the Super League.
You wouldn't be a coach for a goal pig, would you? The emotional roller coaster that you ride.
Here's Williams, gets up all the way. Lewis defensively strong there and letting Holroyd know. Here is Curry. Well, can Warrington take advantage of that error from Batchelor and retake the lead? They'll move it to that right-hand side. Tackle is made just inside the 40-metre area. Thewlis finds Williams. Again, good hands at the line. All taken into contact, but this will be the last one. But they've got plenty of shirts in motion here. Warrington just going to poke the kick over the top. Lovely sliding collect there. It was Evalds who dropped back into fullback, but he got up and almost got lifted into touch. Evalds has done really well there.
Yep, second effort, and he's managed to stay in field. Just interested there, you were talking about Hiku and Niall Evalds is a ready-made fullback signed from Castleford in the off-season. Obviously not afraid of switching positions up when it suits.
Yeah. Did well to keep his hand in the field of play there. We've seen that a few times tonight, that Evalds has dropped back for the kick. Here now come the Robins. Minchella. What an offload that was as well at the other end of the field. He would have thought he'd set his team on for a try. Bit of a scruffy play of the ball there, and they just lost a little bit of momentum. That suited well in the end to get up to the 40-metre line. This is the last one. Lewis is going to go high. A swirling kick again. Credit Dufty, catches it on the full, brings it back, and he's wrapped up just short of the 40-metre line.
Yeah, well taken from Dufty because it came out the air quick, did that. It had a spiral on it. It wasn't perfectly kicked by Mikey Lewis, but there's enough movement in those balls. When they get a spiral on them, he's done well to catch that.
Walk through the centre of the field. There is Musgrove. Tackle made. Crowther here now is Williams. Short pass, gets it away there to Fitzgibbon. He's wrapped up. Last tackle incoming. They're going to work the short side here with Williams. The miss out pass. Ashton's kick ahead was blocked. It's going to be play on. This is still the final tackle. And the Robins will smuggle the danger.
Yeah, George Williams drifted over to this left-hand side. First time I've seen him down here. They go short on the last play, and it's adjudged Petiku not to have played at that ball. But the play before, they had Lachlan Fitzgibbon on the lead line and Matt Dufty out the back there as an option. That looked really dangerous, really threatening.
And it did. Robins, oh, there's an error there. He's dropped that as well. And he'll kick the ball away. Tom Opacek be disappointed with that. Inviting the Wolves in just before half-time.
Yeah, again in a rush just to get play restarted. False economy, isn't it?
Sam Burgess, just his fourth game as coach in the Super League. His team have started really well and then had to weather some heavy Robins pressure, but now they've got a chance here just before half-time.
Got a wonderful time to score, terrible time to concede.
Yeah, well, here's Williams, gets it away to Dufty. Dufty looking to get to an edge, not the best pass, and in the end Thewlis did well to catch that on the bounce. So they penned on that far touchline side. The ball works its way in. Yes, Holroyd, who was tackled heavily there. We'll play the ball now. Here's Williams. Williams gets it away. Little angled carry back from Crowther, who tries to turn and find his front. Can he get a quick play of the ball? No, he can't. He's told to get to his feet as well. Williams gets it away. Now Curry moves it along. Little miss out pass to Fitzgibbon. Try coming here for King. Lovely hands from Warrington. And they do hit the front just before half-time. That left-hand side again. The lead runner. And there was King in support. And Warrington are back in front.
And it's Lachlan Fitzgibbon. He's just changed his line ever so slightly. really smart. The last attacking set they had, it was a really straight, honest line run. You just look at the way he burns off that. It's an outline, and it catches out the defence. Sucks in Opicic, and then the ball away to Toby King. It's really smart play from Lachlan Fitzgibbon, you know. Just that change of angle at the last minute. It really ruins that right edge defence for Hull KR. He's given them two different looks in two different sets of 6. Just take a look at that late break. Ruins the defence, ruins that right edge, and Toby King through. And as we said, you know, 2 or 3 minutes before half-time, wonderful time to score a try, terrible time to concede. Changes the complexion of the half-time team talk completely.
Yeah, our final winner with Wigan last year for Toby King, but he's back now with his parent club. And that's his 2nd of the season so far. So Thewlis then, 10 in from touch near side. You get the feeling every kick tonight going to be crucial. Can he add the extras here? It's a confident strike, but he's pulled it just past the near post. So it remains a 2-point ball game, but King's try has got Warrington in front.
Yeah, it's really, really well worked as this. I think Leon Hayes sinks into the line. Lovely bit of outwork from Fitzgibbon right at the point of the catch. And you could see Peter Hick, who looked to have been operating on the wing at that point, had come in for Matt Duffy, I think it was, out the back. And Toby King puts the visitors 2 points ahead. This is what we thought. This is what we expected, isn't it? Nip and tuck, changes in scoreline, changes in lead. Not much between these two sides.
Not much at all. Big last set for both sides here. Try and cut the errors. Warrington have done so well bringing the ball out of their own end, but both sides have crucially made one error in their own 20. And Chaos costs them. Neat hands, middle of the pitch, and Duffy bumps off. And Duffy now is sprinting away. He's kicked ahead out wide. Could be a chance if they get the bounce. They hack it forward, and they have scored. Connor Wrench finishes it. What a try from Warrington. They want to check this out, but Duffy's break up the middle looks to have set up the chance for a back-to-back try for Warrington.
It's tackle 3, we've got a try on field. It's from a kick, so we're checking onside first, into grounding, please. The kick from Duffy, every chaser is onside, so we can play this through, please, to the contest. That's fine. The tackle on him is fine. Let's play this through. That's always off the legs, and again off the feet. Just something close in on grounding, please. We established it's always off the feet. Yeah, we're happy with that. Let's go through. Slow on this now. Just go really slow on that, please. Just go back and slow. Slow now, going forwards. The ball is grounded. Thank you. I made my decision.
What a finish that was. I'm not sure if Connor Wrench is a footballer, but he showed his skills there, and he grounds it and opens up now a 6-point lead with a kick to come. 2 tries in 2 minutes at the end of the half, and that was a great one.
No, it wasn't it, and it all started in the middle of the field as well from Matt Duffy. We talked about him taking possession late in the tackle count, getting himself in the middle of the field. A little bit more to this one, bit of deception, but bounces straight through the tackle, keeps his awareness, and again, selection, whether it's pass selection or kick selection, it's been much improved in recent months. And Connor Wrench does enough, controls the football and grounds it, but that's just sums him up, doesn't it? Brilliant balance, poise, and then he's able to get his eyes up, has a look at the backfield, sees where the support is, and Connor Wrench finishes it. What a brilliant 2 minutes for the Warrington Wolves.
Yeah, we've got to change a goal kicker here. Leon Hayes is going to try and convert the Connor Wrench try. There he is. Played in the last 3 games, including tonight. Played for the North Wales Crusaders last year. And he had the extras here, looking to curl it in, and he can't. Just pushes it across. Well, a lot was made about Hull KR's goal kicking coming into this one, but Warrington have only converted 1 of the 4 tries that they've scored. Sam Burgess making notes as a Robins trundle off. Food for thought for them at half-time. Hull KR 12, Warrington 18.
Mark John, thank you very much. Sam Burgess will prepare his half-time message to his players. Well, they dominated the opening exchanges here at Sewell Group Craven Park, and then it was Hull KR's turn. But in the end, it's Warrington with a 6-point half-time lead. Paul Cook and John Wilkins' thoughts the other side of this break.
Well, in Anthony Joshua and Francis Ngannou, you got two-man mountains. Perhaps the sport of rugby league has got boxing to thank that we've kept them off the rugby pitch. Imagine one of them running towards you.
Nope.
You saw Francis Ngannou hit the pads yesterday. You've seen a lot of big punches. Got to be up there.
Like a golf swing. You know when you hit a golf ball, you hear that ping. When you hear the ping of a punch, that was Ngannou yesterday. It just went quiet, and you kind of got shivers down your spine, so I'm kind of worried.
Knockout Chaos live on Sky Sports Box Office on Friday.
Thanks very much, boys. We cannot wait. Johnny Nels, a big follower of the Betfred Super League. More on that shortly. Of course, tomorrow we have a packed night of boxing. Coverage gets underway from 4 p.m. tomorrow. But note that ring walks for the main event are expected around 11 p.m. Anthony Joshua taking on Francis Ngannou. The fight is available to Sky customers in the UK and Ireland. Virgin Media customers should contact your operator. Go to skysports.com/box office for any more information. And we have a box office Betfred Super League match here of sorts. A thoroughly entertaining first 40 minutes where we had the lead exchanging hands numerous times. It's Warrington with a 6-point lead at the break. They dominated the opening exchanges of the game, but Hull KR fought back admirably and into a lead before late tries from Toby King and Conor Wrench have given the Wolves that half-time cushion. John Wilkin and Paul Cook joining me here, pitchside here. We're going to start with you, John, and analysing that and analysing a great start from the Warrington Wolves that saw them jump into a lead.
Yeah, without doubt, it was a great start for Warrington, but it saw Hull KR start the game in a very similar to where we saw them start the Salford game, with making errors, and that just fed Warrington into that first half.
A little sloppy from the Warrington Wolves, but from Hull KR, I should say. Yeah, but Warrington well able to capitalise.
Yeah, they've gone straight to an edge on set 3 of the game, and for me, that's not getting yourself into a game or building yourself into a game. Now, then the little kick through here, Hiku has to put it dead, almost a try again on the back of that.
And then it's Dufty. This is what Matt Dufty's good at. He's skimming across the line. Look, he pushes off one defender. Then George Williams moves, catches Dean Hadley on his heels. And it's just a great instinctive push support from George Williams. It was a super start from George Williams back in the team today. But Warrington just got a lot of confidence from this. This is play 3, Brian.
Yep.
Petter Hiku, fullback, is in the line. It's really smart. Move the ball. Bring Evans up on the end of the line. Then Hiku's just simply not got the speed to get back there to cover Matty Ashton with a really nice finish on the end of it.
I had a slight question mark about this coming off Matty Ashton and then just here and then touching Niall Vels first, but you're telling me to move on.
Yeah, I told you to move on. It's given, Brian. Let's get on on with it.
All right, 10-0 at that stage, and you were fearing for an extent for Hull KR, although in a good sense they were only 10 points down. They hadn't had any ball. Geez, they changed that around pretty quickly.
Yeah, I think they did. And the next try was really important for them, wasn't it? Because if Warrington go out to 14 or 16-point lead, then you're looking at Hull KR and wondering whether they can come back and score 3 tries in the conditions we have. But it's a fantastic play, this one from Mikey Lewis, and no doubt this would have been spoken about in preview videos of Matt Dufty. You know, it's just a sheer height disadvantage that he has.
I would say to you, it's a tremendous skill, but also desire as well.
Yeah, and how much impact did Mikey Lewis have on that comeback from Hull KR? When he gets on the ball, he's dangerous. When he gets on the ball, things happen. And look, he punctured a few holes in Warrington's defence. But it's not that. He puts a try on for Ryan Hall. He's just patient. Every key part of the Hull KR line involved May, Minchella. It's that little pump and this offload from Oliver Gildart. It's sensational. But that was Mikey Lewis.
Yeah, Mikey Lewis at his very best, isn't it? All he's doing there is he's asking Conor Wrench to stay on him. He's worried that he carries the football. This is Jez Litton's kick from the sideline. We haven't got a kicker. He's running 8 from 8, Jez Litton.
Yeah, we questioned it.
All right, that Ryan Hall try converted 12-10. Then maybe the pivotal moment of the first 40 minutes. In football terms, this is a missed penalty or a missed open goal.
It's the biggest momentum swing in the game so far. You know, when Hull KR come back, the Tyrone May tries it really good. And that's just
huge.
They call it spilling your lollies, don't they? I mean, this is a try every day of the week. He's got to hold that for me.
It is.
And it's costly.
Yeah, and it gave Warrington an opportunity. A lovely play from Fitzgibbon, and King scores in the corner. And the momentum in this game just swung on the Bachelor error. It's such a big moment. It can't be emphasised, the difference of going 8 points up or having to deal with an onslaught from Warrington at the back end of the game.
Well, they go in 2 points up. Defensive. Talk to me from a defensive perspective about this try.
Jez Litton just gets it all wrong. It's a left shoulder tackle, and he tries to tackle with his right shoulder back on the inside. Duffy gets rid of him. It's poor defence in the middle of the field from a player that's very competent defensively.
Well, brilliant execution from Duffy.
Beautiful pass from George Williams. The link between him and Duffy through the middle of the field is always dangerous. But how big might this be? We spoke about Hull KR's kicking game, so they've gone Josh Newless, didn't work out. Tossed the cone to Leon Hayes, a young guy who's then missed one. Well, now they're going only 6 points up. How big could that be come the end?
Well, 4 points to 6 and 6 to 8 when you go in front by 2 scores. They're hugely pivotal in games, and kickers don't lose your games, but they certainly can win them.
We have said it many times, it seems sometimes to be an afterthought in rugby league goal kicking. The best goal kicker, the most competent, most experienced one the Warrington have on the field is actually George Williams. He hasn't taken a kick yet. OK, we're at half-time here at Sul Group Craven Park, and the home side have a little hill to climb. They trail by 6 against the Warrington Wolves side that exploded late in that first half with back-to-back tries to give them that half-time cushion. Second half on the way after this.
Breaks in game 1. Tedesco, there he goes! Consider the fitted sheet has been folded and put in the linen cupboard. And Rugby scores the try off the back of his captain.
With Luke Brooks going through and Luke Brooks scoring. A magical debut for Luke Brooks. He no longer has the burden of expectation, the weight of the world on his shoulders.
Yes, a never-to-be-forgotten start to the 2024 NRL season. We brought you live on Sky Sports from Las Vegas. Well, it continues tomorrow. We bring you the Storm against the reigning premiers, the Penrith Panthers, fresh from their World Club Challenge match against the Wigan Warriors. It's 9:05 on Arena and on Main Event. Well, we've got 5 live Super League games coming up for you this weekend from round 4. Tomorrow, a triple header, Leeds-Lee. We're on air at 7:30 p.m. on Sky Sports Action. And, of course, we'll be bringing you news as we build up to kick-off on Arena and on Mix for Castleford, Huddersfield and St Helens against Salford. 2 on Saturday, both on Action, 2:55 p.m. and 5:25 p.m. London, Wigan and Catalan Hull FC. Sides are coming outside here at Sul Group Craven Park. Let's get straight to Jenna Brooks, who's with Sam Burgess.
Yeah, thanks very much, Ryan. Sam, they started the half well, they ended the half well. What happened in the middle?
Oh, Hull KR are a good team. They got some momentum back. Tyrone May scored the try from nowhere, and it just gave them some energy. But we knew it was going to come at some point. The tide had turned, and I was proud of us. We managed to turn it back.
Well, good luck for the second half. Thank you very much, Sam. I'm actually going to try and grab a word with Willie Peters. Willie, what did you make of that first half? And are you confident you can get back in it in the second?
Yeah, still confident. We had a poor start and a poor finish, but I like what we did after that sort of first 20 minutes. But, yeah, it took us a while to get in the game, so we need to start well, and then hopefully we finish it off.
Willie Peters, thanks for talking to us. Good luck for this second half. Kick-off is moments away. Let's go back to our commentators. John Wells, led by Mark Wilson.
Cheers. Cheers, Jenna. Great work down there. Great to hear from both the coaches coming out of the tunnel, and the feeling, as it is everywhere around this ground, John Wells, this game is still well and truly in the balance.
Yeah, absolutely. It's exactly what we expected, wasn't it? I think what's probably a little bit unexpected is that both sides have just played in patches and snatches throughout this first 40 minutes, and it's not been down to an awful lot of great work by either side. There's just been a couple of lapses of concentration. You'd pick out Dean Hadley for George Williams' try. You'd pick out James Batchelor. Just, you know, that's a try 99 times out of 100.
Could be a big turning point. Can the Robins recover? Will Warrington make it 3 on the spin? They shoot out of the line there. May it was quickly upon Musgrove. They'll work it up the middle again. Dufty, such a threat. He's had a great start to the season. This is the last tackle. They'll go back to Hayes, who takes aim down the far end of the field. It's caught on the full by Evolds, and Evolds fancies running this back. He's met on the 20-metre line, and Warrington complete yet another set.
Yeah, Matt Dufty's meters, he's head and shoulders above anybody else. That's not unusual for a fullback. They cover an awful lot of ground. They get the kick return meters in there as well. But I like what he's doing at the back end of the set. He's really putting his hand up and setting up Warrington Wolves for a decent kick at the end of those sets.
He is. I'm not sure Mikey Lewis was expecting that offload, but he got one anyway. This Hall again is stopped in his tracks. Carry from Tanganoa. Walker, Musgrove involved heavily with that one. And they'll go up the middle again. And Swan. Robbins, who wrapped up. They wanted a penalty there. They don't get one. Now they'll go downfield. It's a deep kick. Back there is Thewlis, catches it on the full. Aims infield. Decent return set there from the Robins.
Yeah, good kick chase. That's turned a poor set into a good set, certainly in terms of territory and starting point.
Just short of the 30-metre line here. You can see the pitch is cutting up quite heavily. All the teams will be looking forward to the drier fields that hopefully are not too far away. But these two are serving up a decent contest here. Two teams who will have aspirations of being at Old Trafford at the end of the season. A lot of work to do. If not happy with the spot of the play of the ball there.
Tackle 4 there, yeah, you're good. There, go 4.
King makes the tackle with Sue. Last one, just over the halfway line. Walker in there, gets it away. Williams is under pressure. Kicks the ball, will find the grass, and it bounces up awkwardly here, but is it in the end? The bounce went again against the Warrington Wolves there. It looked for a moment as though Williams had got a favourable bounce, but here come the Robins.
Just carried, didn't it? Just carried. That took all of Peter Hiku's patience because it lost momentum very quickly. Just touched the whitewash.
I think his heart rate was just starting to increase. Yeah, he was grateful that one went over the line. So all of a sudden, Hull KR up to halfway. Here's King leading the charge. That's a good carry. No nonsense. Because now they're going to scoot out a dummy half. Minchella did well to reach forward. He'll carry it. Gets another 8-9 metres. Looks for an offload. Good offload as well. Miss out pass to Hall. What a shot that was from Thewlis there. Didn't hang around. Makes a crunching tackle. Interestingly, Minchella now's come up with a couple of big offloads.
Yeah, he's starting to find his feet in the game as well. He was hugely impressive last year. Picked up the main gongs at the Player Awards at season's end, and he started in 2024 as he left off in 2023. I'm a real big fan of his.
Yes, here is Mikey Lewis. Little kick with the outside of the boot, looking to try and isolate Dufty, who got up high and collects the ball. He's tackled instantly. They'll be looking to force an error, but that's an error from Hull KR. It's a high tackle. Sue, the culprit.
Yeah, the tough carries, the defensive line shortens up, narrows up, and he skipped across, just picked up a lazy arm from Suaso Sue. It's come up off the ball carrier's arm, in fact. But he'd be disappointed in that because I think they've done really well in terms of the finish of the set, the time the kick chase properly, shortened up the defensive line, given Warrington very few options, and then given 30 metres for free.
He's been used off the bench in all 4 games. That looks high as well. It was the same player.
Go 1, push in.
Here come Warrington, centre field. Interesting, Ben Curry's new role now, playing more in the middle of the field.
I think I've noticed like first 3 rounds, he's working in that middle channel an awful lot more.
It's a good carry as well. And Curry.
Hold. Go
Still got so much to offer the Warrington Wolves, as now they're looking to probe the centre of the field. Leon Hayes is wrapped up, but they don't put him to the ground. Now they're going to go to that left-hand side here with Williams. Williams gets the ball back, falls to the floor, but still manages to get an offload away. Dufty feels he's got the pace, and he has got the pace to skip away from one. I'm saying it was the best pass to Wrench there, and in the end they end up losing meters on. Do they? No, they don't. Oh, the referee has called that that's a forward pass. Wow.
Now, look, whether you agree with the call or not, Warrington started doing this last week against Cast. They pulled ahead and then they started thinking everything was going to stick. You know, this was one of the two things that I'd written down in my notebook. You're going, you know, as a coach there, you're saying, right, let's cut out the unforced errors early in possession in tackle counts, which was a feature of last week's game, and then this as well, thinking you can ace and ice every chance you have. You've still got to be patient. You know, this is a 6-point ball game. This is one converted try for Hull KR, and you've seen how quickly momentum can change.
May will feed the scrum. So Warrington came up with some offloads there, but came up with a forward pass as well. So the Robins will start just short of the halfway line. Litton will pop up the pass. Good line speed from the Wolves there. Litton again gets it away to Minchella. Turns it back for King, who just gets his head down and pumps the legs up to the 40-metre line. Here now is Minchella. Minchella dummies and goes it alone. Tries to spin and throw off Crowther, but Crowther holds him into the tackle. Still got a couple left in this set. Litton jumps out of dummy half, and Litton's 12 away when he was pulled down. Last one incoming. Suin at dummy half, fires a pass to May. May gets it away to Lewis. Lewis with a dummy, stabs a kick in behind. Dufty will collect it and does well to get to the ground, but they're right on their own line, penned in the Wolves.
Yeah, perfectly positioned from Matt Dufty. Tracked Mikey Lewis, just sat a metre inside him, waited for Lewis to drop the ball on the boot, and then cleaned up nicely.
Tough carries incoming. Connor Wrench leading the charge. Missed the win over Castleford. And that try just before the break, as there's a Robins player knocked to the ground. And here now goes Ashton, wrapped up short of the 40. So the Robins have done the hard bit. Here comes the kick downfield. Should be caught on the full by Hall, right on the 20-metre line. He heads off in field and bulldozes into Wrench, and his tackle just outside the 30.
Yeah, that looked like a set that was going to go nowhere for Warrington, and he just got a bunch of outside backs that decided to put the foot down, and they've got themselves into a good position.
Yeah, help their forwards out. Tough conditions here. And back into that arm wrestle that we had early on here tonight before Warrington scored a couple of tries. Robins hit back, then those two right on the break mean that Warrington lead by 6. Will they, though, rue the missed goal kicks, 3 of them first half. Here come the Robins now. Ball back on the angle for May. He's got it in one hand, gets it away to Lewis. Lewis not particularly got anywhere to go. Oh, what a step! What a beautiful step from Lewis! Support on the inside, and the pass goes to ground! Well, Mikey Lewis turned into Mr. Invisible there, but they can't take in the chance, and they cannot finish it off.
Do you know what? I'm going to be hypercritical of Jez Litton here. I think when you've got a man who's trying to fix a fullback position, I think you've got to get closer. He's got to get closer. Yeah, that's a 5-metre pass he's got to find at full speed. Take a bow, though, for the initial step. What a piece of deception there. And he undoes George Williams defensively. But all his focus now is on fixing up Matt Dufty. Just run a tighter line. Jez Litton's going to run a tighter line. It's his responsibility to get his timing and his position correct.
That is two clear chances that Hull KR have put on the ground.
Absolutely.
Back to the first half, and then another one there. 6 points the difference. Well, that was like tackling smoke. He was there 1 minute, gone the next.
No, he's a brilliant player. I'll say it again. The more times he can get his hands on the ball, because the thing is, he's not just a try provider. He's a prolific try scorer as well. You know, he's still only young. He scored 33 tries in 74 appearances for the Robins.
Yeah.
That's why he's such a threat for defensive lines.
Well, there's a threat coming here from Warrington, who've got to that left-hand side with King. Good tackle round the legs, needed to be from Tyrone May as well. They had an opportunity there, now an error from Warrington. The ball spilt as they made their way over the 40-metre line. And a couple of errors creeping in from the Wolves early in the second half. I get the feeling, John, this game is going right to the final kick.
We said before we started, didn't we? We didn't see much in this at all. Could this be the first golden point of 2024? Restart for the Robins as well.
Yeah, not seen too many of those tonight. Great carry as well from Luckley. Signed a new deal with the Robins. And their business done early on that front. Here's Minchella, turns the ball back here. Carried forward by Whitbread. Whitbread gets up and plays it quickly. Here's Litton again. Runners around him, finds May. May stops, takes it to the line. The kick comes in, it's bouncing all over. And eventually pounced upon by Warrington. Not sure that was the play.
No, poor decision. Middle of the set. Great field position. You know, it was a kick to nothing. And it's not come off for them. You know, third tackle 10 metres out. Broken play. Look, there was a kick chase on of sorts, but I think they could have ended that set a hell of a lot better.
He's almost got to weigh up the gamble there, and it never looked like he had room to get that kick through the line.
No, this is what Paul Cook was saying though. You've got players who you're desperate for them to play what they see natural footballers. You're never going to want to coach that out of them. It's just a decision-making element.
Yeah, it is. Warrington have found their way just short of the 40-metre line. Hull KR are defending really narrowly here at the moment. They're almost asking Warrington to try and throw it around them. Here's Hiku, sets off and takes it up to the 30-metre line. Sam Powell into the action. Good carry there. Evolds up to the 40. May just drops the ball back underneath. Opacek is tackled, gets a quick play of the ball. And now they're over the halfway line, and here's Luckley again. Carries it into Warrington territory. Couple left in the set. Parcell is out there. And here now is Lewis again, probing, trying to threaten at every opportunity. Last one. Parcell will get it away to May. May's going to hoist it high. There's going to be pressure here. Will Dufty let this bounce? He will. It bounces to the Robins. The Robins now have got a chance. May opts to kick across the field. And in the end, it's as good as a pass. Well, he was looking out to that right-hand side on that occasion. And he then opted to change his mind. And in the end, it was a gift for Dufty and the Wolves.
Well, that's the second kick he won back in 60 seconds. Two poor ends to sets. Well, one middle of the set. And that end of set, Mikey Lewis again, by far and away the most dangerous on the Robins side in attacking position.
As we were at half-time, 6-point lead for the Wolves. They've had to do a lot of working out of their own end of the field here. Curry again will carry. Last one. Powell. Sub in all 3 games so far. Make that 4, gets the kick. They get the kick away downfield, Warrington. And here's Evolds again. Good chase though, led by Williams. Also in there is Crowther. Lewis gets it away to Hall. Hall offers a dummy. He's got support. He's outside and he didn't use it. He didn't use it. There was a chance there down the sideline. But they're starting to make some meters now. Tanganoa carries strongly. Parcell in at dummy half. Gets it away to Minchella. Minchella going up the middle of the field. Had to get hold of that. He almost had it ripped out of his grasp. See the pitch cutting up here. May will take it. Gets it away now to Hiku. Hiku is wrapped up. Last tackle incoming here. Batchelor will get it to May. Not the best pass. May just stabs the kick across in behind. This is a better kick, or is it? Or is it? It's knocked dead in the end. Dufty didn't get the bounce. It'll be a goal line restart.
Well, I'll tell you what, another set full of opportunity for Hull KR. This is a much better kick from Tyrone May. Holds up, Duffy loses his feet, has no choice but to put that dead. Looking at Oliver Gildart, you've got Ryan Hall in space. I'd be interested to see what that coffee's like. Mikey Lewis, let's have a look at his stats. Very involved, 10 carries, over 100 metres. That's the run threat from him. And tackle busts as well. 7 times he's been through that Warrington line.
That's an outstanding stat, isn't it? 7 tackle busts. As the goal line restart is caught by Lewis. And it's brought back here by Whitbread, who bumps off Powell. This game is right in the balance. Here goes Hall. Hall is wrapped up.
You feel like something's coming, don't you?
Well, the weight of pressure is with Hull Kingston Rovers. Here they go up the middle now. Whitbread is wrapped up. Ooh, Powell. A groan from the crowd as that challenge went in. Here now is Parcell. Gets it away. Minchella. Minchella is tackled. 8 metres away. Philbin's on for his 200th Warrington appearance. Congratulations to him. Got some work to do here as the ball swings across to May. May to Lewis. Ball over the top for Hall. Back inside. What a pass! What a pass! Gildart, the provider, to Hall in the first half. Hall repays the favour and a try arrives. It's the first for the Robins for Oliver Gildart. Hull Kingston Rovers 16, Warrington 80.
And Oliver Gildart must have had a word with Ryan Hall, because in a set a minute ago he had an opportunity to put in some space and he didn't. Take a look at this for a pass option from Mikey Lewis, another try involvement for him. Ryan Hall on the outside, and then Oliver Gildart following up. And you could sense something was coming, wouldn't you? The Robins playing well and truly on the front foot. Again, a lovely delayed, disguised pass over the top. Ryan Hall inside, Gildart, 2-point ball game, kick to come. And we've got a quarter of this match to go.
We have, but we've got no Jez Litton kicking the goal because he's sat on the Rovers bench, on the Robins bench. So it'll be James Batchelor looking to convert that try.
And just while Batchelor sets up for this kick, there's been some changes as well in the back line. We've seen what Gildart and Ryan Hall have combined to do. There's been a shift here. Petr Hiku's gone into the right centre, a position that he's more accustomed to. Opicic has shifted out to the wing, and Niall Evalds, who we said, who was a very, very competent fullback in his time at Salford and at Castleford, has reverted to that fullback role, that number 1 role. So, changes on the fly here for the Robins.
James Batchelor. He had a kick from the other sideline at Salford last week. He had a kick from the other sideline at Hull. Look at that, he can't get any closer to the sideline. He's not getting the easy ones, is he, James? This is the raise the roof. No. So the missed goal means that the difference is still 2. But Gildart with a finish. Proving to be some combination, these two on the left-hand side.
Yeah, and it was a nice play set up by Mikey Lewis again, just holding the ball, waiting to see what the defence does, lifting it over the top of Connor Wrench, and then Hall back on the inside. And he'd be a happier man. Certainly the last 10 minutes of this game, he'd be very impressed with the Robins application. And here's, luckily off the back fence, he gets cleaned up though. Paul Vaughan and James Harrison, that's the response from Sam Burgess. He's got his starting props back on.
Yeah, he has. Just felt that try was coming. A build-up of pressure, but Warrington still leads. Here's Hall again. Seems to be growing and growing in metres on that left-hand side.
You might lose something from the goal-kicking perspective with Jez Litton off the field, but not with Parcell out of dummy half. What about that for left edge for Hull KR? And it all starts, doesn't it, with Mikey Lewis, his foil, Kalepi Tanganoa on the outside, and then those two we've seen in combination, in tandem, Oliver Gildart and Ryan Hall.
High kick here. Warrington are not going to get to this, and it was almost a horrible bounce for the Wolves. Well, they get it back with Ashton. And there goes King. Here we couldn't get there. Don't forget, NRL back tomorrow morning. What a game as well. The Storm taking on the Panthers, 9:05, Sky Sports Arena, and main event for that one. Then tomorrow night, Sky Sports action, Leeds from 7:30. We're at Castleford as they take on Huddersfield at 7:55 on Sky Sports Arena. And Saints take on Salford, also 7:55 on Sky Sports Mix. And then on Saturday, another doubleheader. London take on Wigan at 2:55 Sky Sports action. And we round off the weekend, Catalans against Hull, 5:25. Don't forget as well the bench with Jenna and John, available now, skysports.com/podcasts.
Yep. Loads to get through there, but I'll give you a rest to tell you that that was a really good defensive set from Hull KR. Restricted Warrington to just 24 metres in that set.
Still one.
Offload late in the piece, and here they go again. More metres for Ryan Hall and the Robins, and they're coming back down this side again. Another sidestep from Lewis. There's some overtime being put in by these Warrington defenders on the near side of the field. Up the middle they go. Inside the 20. Parcell has it. Looks and goes to May. May, ball over the top. Great pass. What a pass. And Overcheck is in. And the Robins lead. Great pass from Tyrone May. Cut out two Wolves defenders. And the Robins fans are in raptures. They're back in front.
And that's why, as Willie Peters, you wear the odd errant kick, the odd errant decision made from Tyrone May, because he's a natural footballer. Opposite gets the finish. But take a look at this revision in the build-up. Tyrone May assesses, aborts the original plan, and goes straight over the top. Opposite, who we said started the game in the centre, shifted out to the wing. Look, he was going to pass out the back there, and he's seen Matty Ashton come up and in and leave Opposite with a little bit of space on the outside, and he just flung the ball. Aborts the bit out the back, floats it over the top. You can see he's seen it in his peripheral vision. He's not even seen it clearly. He's seen that left edge defence rush and try and put pressure on, and he's gone to plan B, and boy, wasn't that a plan B.
Finally he's thinking, we've executed one. So Opacek. Good year for him last year. Be hoping to build on that this year. Didn't have to break stride either to take that. There's Sam Burgess. A little bit of concern in the Warrington coaching box. Not offered too much second half, but that's mainly because the Robins haven't let them. Here is Batchelor. Success probability 52%. Another tough one for him. This to make it a 4-point game. Sends it on the way, and he's pulled it across again. 2-point ball game then, going into the final 17 minutes, and after all the threat down the left, it's the Robins right that does the damage.
Yeah, it's a lovely bit of vision, isn't it? It's Toby King and Matty Ashton, who Tyrone May's just seen creep into his peripheral vision. They were going to go shut down Niall of Olds in the back, in the full-back position, and he's just gone to plan B, floated a beautiful pass over the top. As you said, Opacich didn't have to break stride. They take a 2-point lead into the final 15 minutes of the game, and they've left at least 8 points out there on the field.
They have. So a game that we've seen Warrington lead twice. There's a problem there for a Warrington defender. Warrington have been in front twice, and Hull KR have been in front twice. There it is, sale of the first half. 2 tries for Warrington early on before the Robins hit back, but then those two right on half-time gave the Wolves the lead, but 2 tries only, both on the way of the red and whites in the second half so far. There you go, the Robins again with Parcell.
So dangerous, he's so dangerous. We talk about Jeslett, and we talked about his opposite number, Danny Walker, being so good out of dummy half, especially when you've won the previous tackle and been dominant in the tackle. Well, Matt Parcell may not have kicking boots, but I'll tell you what, he's got wheels on him, hasn't he? Really dangerous, late in the tackle count, pulls through, penalty, repeat set in an attacking position. Danger, alert time for Warrington.
This could well be the match. There's a live win predictor. Very, very much in favour of the Robins. And Warrington hanging on here. Can the Red and Whites extend their lead? Here's Lewis, steps one way, then goes the other and challenges again. Felt he got one across the nose there, but gets up and plays it. They're coming back short side, angle carry here. Chance for the Robins, and in the end they've got to take the tackle. Didn't want to risk an obstruction play there. Parcell waits at dummy half. Centre field, gets it away, the dummy. Taken forward by Hadley. Hadley stopped to meter out. Parcell looking. Gets it away, quick ball. Can they power their way over? No, they can't. Hayes involved with the tackle. Great work on the line from the Warrington Wolves defenders.
Right, it had to be as well. Dufty and Hayes involved in that. That was a try scoring opportunity for Batchelor. One last play.
Here's May. May thinking about kicking, instead goes to Lewis. Lewis has got options, goes short, offload away, they've dropped it again. There was a covering defender there, but they couldn't take it in. Evans spills the ball.
Now that goes in the maybe category. There's been two gilt-edged opportunities to score. You wouldn't say that's one of them, but I tell you what, when they get in position, Hull KR, and when they've got the plane at that right tempo across the field, patient with Mikey Lewis, Tyrone May, Evalds out the back, they are picking apart this Warrington defence.
And you mentioned the two tries they've dropped in effect over the line. What about the two offloads from Tanganoa? Haven't quite gone out. Twice he's punctured through the line.
Yeah, and you feel like it's only a matter of time before they get that right as well.
And that's something, if Hull KR can keep winning without that truly coming into effect, there's some exciting times ahead for the Robins, but there's some hard work to be done here. Warrington are not out of this one, not by a long stretch. They do, you feel, though, need to score the next points here. There's a carry from Vaughan, but again, 20 metres off their own line. Struggling for go forward. That's a better carry from Philbin. Really good, strong run.
Well, they've been ahead in this game since the 37th minute. Enjoyed a half-time break. Now get themselves into some space.
And that was a loose pass. They get away with it. Parcell makes the tackle.
But there's two quick-fire tries from the Robins. And as we approach the last 10 minutes of the game, this is when scoreboard pressure starts to make you do things you don't think you're going to do. It's a decent kick, but it's well gathered in by Ryan Hall. He goes straight out to Gildart, and there's space again here.
There is Gildart, offloads it back to Hall. He's putting it down. The ref's going to call it back. Lewis is racing away. Not sure he realises the whistle has gone. There's not too many complaints from Ryan Hall either.
No, I'll tell you, it was on. It was on. The 2 points ahead, so the question would be, did he need to throw the pass, Oliver Gildart? And it was the second element of that. Ryan Hall not able to gather it in, and it's that, where it comes off Ryan Hall, it's forward into the hands of Mikey Lewis. Look, it's on. So when you look at it in black and white, you go, the pass is on, you make the pass. But the scoreboard, the score, the time left in the game, the momentum, everything else says, just haul it in, Oliver, haul it in.
So Warrington, who've been deprived of territory, have now got a chance to start inside Robins' territory here. Powell out the base of the scrum, gets it away. Short pass, and they'll start now on tackle one, 35 metres away. What have the Wolves got up their sleeve? They're involved in a tight battle in round one. They came up on the wrong end of it in Catalan.
That's a good carry.
It is. Well, they've not been down this end, ball in hand for a while. Here's Powell. Gets it away to Hayes. Short pass, quick hands. Can they get to an edge? They have got to an edge. Good hand in from Hall. He couldn't quite take it in. But that was a pass he had to get involved with.
It was valuable in its own right from Ryan Hall, because their shot, Mikey Lewis had come right, screaming out of the line to try and put some pressure on the passer. Yeah, and Ryan Hall, he knows what he's doing there. He tries, the tackle option is there, but if he's not that, then he's taking the ball. Shuts down, and they live to fight another 60 seconds.
Yeah, it's been a game that has turned on key moments, and is this another one that's about to change the destiny, the outcome of this game?
Clock off now.
You've got to keep a close eye on Matt Duffy here. Attacking position.
Powell gets it away to Hayes, moves it on to Williams. Here is Duffy. Duffy going for the line, and he goes through. Warrington strikes straight back, and it's Matt Duffy who's over. And the Warrington fans celebrate. Mystic Wells, Warrington lead.
Well, it's just by watching what he can do. It was a late movement out the back of the scrum. He disguised himself, hid himself behind the back of the scrum, and then moved late. And it was a beautiful. So you see him sat behind the scrum there, moves with Leon Hayes. It gives the defence no time to adjust for that extra number. And then it's an awful position to be in as a central winger, retreating against a man with the pace that Duffy's got. Leon Hayes does his part. George Williams plays his part really well. And then it's against a retreating defence. And I tell you, that could be a crucial score into the last 10 minutes of the game. But that's Matt Duffy. That's what he does best. A real timely score. They've had precious little opportunity down this end of the field because of the way that Hull KR have been playing. So massive credit to the Wolves. They get one look and they absolutely ice it through Duffy.
Yeah, ever present last year in a season that didn't quite deliver for Warrington. And on a night where goal kicks have been elusive, another big one incoming here. The Robins thought they had control of this, but all of a sudden that turnover on halfway could be a very costly one. Leon Hayes, who missed right at the end of the first half. The teenager with a responsibility here of adding another 2 points. Well, he's acquitted himself really well in the starting lineup. Can he add the extras? No, he can't.
2-point ball game. Take a look at Matt Duffy. Take a look at him before the start of this scrum here. The set 3-3 in defence. Midfield scrum. 3 defenders in red and white. Matt Duffy's late movement they cannot adjust for. They don't have time. And then it's Matt Duffy on the front foot against 2 defenders with an option. And he's iced it. He's had a really, really strong start to the 2024 season, Matt Duffy. He leads the Wolves in metres. He's over 150 now, 100 of those posted in the first half.
Well, it's 5 tries to 4 for Warrington, but it's a 2-point ball game. 2 kicks out of 4 for Hull KR, 1 out of 5 for the Wolves. Just over 8 to go. Well, Sam Burgess' side might not have had a lot of ball second half, but they've managed to get themselves back in front here. Warrington, tough carries. As luckily went hunting there with Hadley. Curry finds his front just short of the 40-metre line. Here's Vaughan edging his way up towards halfway. Last one. Powell will get it away now to Hayes, who aims and points downfield. He finds the grass. 10 off the line. Here's Opacek to bring it forward. And he'll carry it strongly. And the Robins start 25 out from their own line. Hall, the go-to man. 164 metres for him. Again, down that side they go. Gildar, just short of the halfway line. A game that remains in the balance. Good run from Tanganoa. Ball centre field. Look how that win predictor has changed. He might change again in a moment as well as the Robins come forward. What were they, 17% last time? The Wolves, now they're 80% chance of winning. We're none the wiser. High kick, pressure on at the back. Duffy rises high and bounce off. He wasn't tackled. He's still not tackled, and he gets up to the 30.
That's great work from Duffy again. He bounces around, doesn't he?
Time ticking away. The Robins have never won their opening 3 games in Super League. That happened again last week when they lost at Salford. They will not want to lose here tonight on home soil.
This is what you said.
Did the double on them last year.
You said right at the start of the broadcast, didn't you, that going 50% essentially 2-2 is certainly not something that Robins fans would have envisaged at the start of the season. Expectations are high in this part of the world.
They are. High kick here. Should be dealt with at the back. Evolds gets off the ground and did well to evade a lunging Warrington defender. Here's Hiku.
Yeah, smart play from Niall Evolds. Just gets himself, so the tackle is a quicker one. Gives his teammates half a chance to make something of this set.
It does. 5.5 to go. I wonder what Willie Peters is thinking. Should the Robins get a penalty? It's going to have to be pretty adjacent, isn't it, you feel? Oh, it won't come into the equation now because they've made an error, and Batchelor's not enjoyed his best night tonight. Willie Peters looks on. So many chances have been and gone for the home side. But Warrington still lead.
Well, there's been some brilliant skill on show this evening, hasn't there? You think about May's try, how he plucked that out of the air. You think about King's try with Fitzgibbon running that wonderful line, and then the heroics on this left edge with Gildart and Opicic on the right. But this game will be remembered, whatever the result, for the missed opportunities, especially if Hull KR come up short here, for the opportunities and the points left out on the field.
This would be a very big win for Warrington. They've got London next weekend. And there is Sam Burgess. He looks a little bit nervous, Big Sam. Wishes he was still out there being able to control the destiny of this game. Another score now might just wrap it up. It's quiet here at Craven Park. The home fans are nervous. They're looking on as the ball goes short to Williams, short to Holroyd. He's going to be wrapped up, 10 away. This is the last one. Can Warrington get a repeat set or even score again here? Ball back on the inside, and late offload. It's not dealt with yet. It might be now. Parcell makes the tackle, but what a place to turn it over.
Yep, good position for the Warrington Wolves. Good reactions from Matt Parcell. He wants to get things moving again. Scoreboard and time clock really against the Robins now. They're going to have 2 sets, and the first of those starts on their own 5.
It does. 90 metres away from where they need to be. Sue carries. That's a good strong run from him, and he's looking to offload, and he does offload as well. Better from the Robins. They've got a player down in backfield. Ball now swings its way across to Minchella, gets it to May, finds Batchelor. It looks like Ryan Hall's just getting a few running repairs to his boots. He's making his way back into position now. He might need to be on the end of this next move because it's heading his way now with Lewis. Lewis goes short to Tanganoa. Tanganoa was desperate to offload it. What a tackle that was. The Robins had runners out wide. Here's Lewis again. Danger incoming here. Warrington have got to be squeaky clean. They can't afford to concede a penalty. Last tackle. One of the Robins got. They're going to go for the chip over the top, but again it's Dufty almost slipped, but he still came up with it, and Dufty's racing away and he's tackled. What a night he's had tonight.
That's brilliant position again from Dufty, but I'll question the kick from Tyrone May. There was too much on it. You could see what they were trying to do. It straightened up for Niall Evolds to chase, but it's gone straight into the hands on the full to the most dangerous backfield runner here this evening.
Yeah, he's been outstanding. Dufty just a smidgen short of 200 metres for him. Well, the Robins are running out of time here. Warrington came here on the back of 2 home wins. Are they about to register their first away win of the season? It's been hard fought for sure. Last one. They'll go short side. Hayes kicks towards the touchline. He finds touch as well. Won't quite waste the time they would like. But it means that Hull KR have got to go an awful long way to win this match.
Yeah, it doesn't buy them the usual or the historic minute or so that it did once upon a time. The rules in this game have moved on, but it gives them 10 seconds to regroup, and crucially against a defensive line, a set defensive line.
What the Robins would give for a penalty now. Here. The ball carried forward. Not sure Mikey Lewis deserves to be on the losing end of it tonight, but at the moment he is, unless the Robins can come up with a piece of magic. This is going to be their last set, unless they can get a repeat. They're just short of the halfway line, halfway through the tackle count. They'll come to this near side with Minchella. Finds May, short pass, Tanganoa again. Great tackle, Warrington. They've made their hits when they've had to. And now the ball goes in field, and May's thinking about the big ball out wide. He'll get it to Batchelor. Can Batchelor redeem himself? Can't get it away. Last one. This is it, surely, for the Robins now. They need something here. May goes high. It's a bomb that's going to come down 20 away. Duffy comes up with the error. He comes up with the error, and there's going to be one late chance for the Robins to steal this game.
It's the first misstep of an otherwise wonderful.
Or is there? Or is there? They are furious, Warrington, here. They think that they should have been, and they are going to get the ball. They are going to get it. Duffy survives. And Warrington are going to win here again on the back of an outstanding effort from Matt Duffy and the Wolves.
Time off over it. It's OKR's ball.
Well, hang on now. The referee now has changed his signal.
Yeah, cheers, Johnny.
So they are going to get one goal. They've only got 8 seconds left here. Well, bizarre ending to this game. Sam Burgess can't believe it. He's saying, which way's he giving it? Got to stay offside from the scrum here, Warrington. Here goes May. This is it. Last play incoming. Have they got enough room? No, they haven't. Warrington survive. The hooter goes in the background. They have come here tonight, Sam Burgess and the Warrington Wolves, and produced a fantastic performance. They led at half-time, but they were trailing with 10 to go. But Matt Duffy's try wraps up the win. It's a third successive win for the Warrington Wolves, and you can see what it means to them. We apologise if there's any choice or bad language. Emotions running high here. A game that did go right to the very end. It's back-to-back defeats for Hull KR, but Sam Burgess looks on. He'll have learned plenty about his side tonight. Batchelor will be looking on at that opportunity when he dropped the ball over the line. The Robins had chances. They didn't take them, and Warrington made them pay the price. Great game tonight to kick off round 4. It ends Hull KR 20, Warrington Wolves 22.
Mark, John, thank you very much. Well, in terms of sheer entertainment, that may have been one of the best we've seen so far in these early stages of the 2024 Betfred Super League. The visiting Warrington Wolves nipping it by 2 points and claiming 2 very important competition points. Hull KR, I wonder what their reflections will be after that 80-minute performance. John Wilkin and Paul Cook joining me here pitchside at Hull KR. Paul Cook, to you first. Sum up what you've just seen.
Well, I think Warrington remained patient. I don't think they threw a punch second half until the knockdown from Ryan Hall and then the try off the scrum. I just think they're stuck in there. I think that it tells you very much what Warrington are going to be like in 2024. And if we wanted a question answering, then we've had it answered by a Sam Burgess coach team who've just remained tough.
Yeah, we spoke about delicacy. He said delicate, didn't he? We spoke about that before the game. Well, that was a rugged and a tough performance, and just doing what you needed to do to win the game. Look, they missed all those conversions. They were the better team here tonight by more of a stretch than what maybe the last few seconds reflected. A really strong performance from Warrington. Sam Burgess and his players will be delighted.
So that resilience that we had maybe question marks about beforehand because of what they've been through in previous seasons, they've answered that. They rode out a storm for the first 20 minutes last week against Castleford. They rode out a much bigger storm here today.
I thought they dodged some bullets in the second half. You know, Mikey Lewis goes clean through and throws a pass inside. That's not a good pass. You know, you think back to the Batchelor over the line, the knock-on over the line. You know, we wondered how big these moments in the game would be, but ultimately you've got to stay in there and stay strong.
Mikey Lewis, Willie Peters said he wanted him to be the controlling halfback. Now, you showed a couple of clips him coming in at dummy half. You would suggest that that's maybe not an indication that Mikey's playing that controlling role.
No, but he was the best player on the field. Like, you want to get excited about watching a player. Watch Mikey Lewis during a game because he creates things. You never know what he's going to do. Defenders don't know what he's going to do. And he's got the ability that's just timeless of beating people. He beats defenders, stands them up, beats people. I love watching Mikey Lewis. Maybe he has to develop other sides of his game, but I'm not too worried about that. But there's other people on this field who can beat players, Brian, and some of them on that Warrington team.
Well, with 10 minutes to go, Mikey Lewis may have thought he would be going home happy as they led 20 points to 18. It's 22-20 to the Warrington Wolves because of Matt Duffy's late try. He's player of the match with Jenna.
Yeah, thanks very much, Brian. Matt Duffy with seconds to go. You get told you knock on. What's going through your mind?
Yeah, my heart sunk a bit, but I knew the boys could get up for one play and we scrambled and we ended up getting away with a tough victory there.
You certainly did. I mean, it was quite, I suppose, an inconsistent performance, or 80 minutes anyway, from your team. How did you come away with that win?
Yeah, we started fast, but we knew the momentum was going to swing eventually. That's what footy does, and Hull KR are a great team. You know, they coming off the back of a loss last week, we knew they were going to be up at home, so we knew we would have to dig deep, and they come, like, second half, they got over us a bit, and we credited the boys to get back and get the win.
You were certainly instrumental in that game. How excited are you for a drier track?
Yeah, definitely. I can't wait for summer. You know, we've had a couple of days of sunshine there, and it's been great. But, you know, we're slogging away victories, and more victories you can get at the start here helps you back into the season. Yeah,
well, you've been sensational early on this season. Sam Burgess this week said that you've made a few tweaks to your game. What are those tweaks? Yeah, you know, Sammy's just trying to get me more involved. If it's a play for carry or on the back of more shape, and it's been working for me because the more I can get in the game, the more I can do for the team. Well, fantastic work tonight. Congratulations. You are the Betfred Player of the Match, and it's your 40th Wolves appearance. Oh, how good is that? I appreciate it. Thanks, guys. Cheers. Thanks, Matt.
Yeah, that's consecutive player of the match performances for Matt Duffy, the Warrington Wolves full back. Well, he is certainly a live wire in that position, Paul Cook.
Yeah, the try from behind the scrum. I think John called it in commentary up there. He starts behind the scrum and moves late. Matt Parcell marks up opposite him, and then Hickle gets stuck on the edge, stuck in the mud a little bit of centre. You know, it's fantastic play from Warrington from the base of the scrum, and I think it's one of the best rules that we brought in the game to attack from a midfield scrum.
You keep talking because I'm going to drag a special guest in here. George, if you will.
Yeah, no, it was a great performance from Warrington.
Well done.
I thought they dug in, Brian, but Matt Duffy's electric, isn't he? You get him in the right parts of the field. You know, he's almost as electric as George Williams.
We don't know about that.
We saw you guys. You got a zipper there.
Yeah, a little one.
Yeah, okay. We saw you celebrating with your team, with the Warrington Wolves, the visiting supporters. It's round 4. Why did that mean so much to you tonight?
That was a tough old game. It's a tough place to come now. OKR on the rise, and they're a top 4 team thereabouts. So great win for us. Slowly building blocks, and yes, why not celebrate? Some fans have travelled a long way on a Thursday night, so enjoy the win. Absolutely.
The way you won that game, the manner in which you grafted in that game, what does it tell you about your teammates?
I think that was a pleasing part of it, a bit of resilience shown. There was so many times in that game where momentum changed. We was on top, then they started rolling us, and yeah, just a great win for us. We probably conceded too many tries that we wanted to, but you take 2 points away, okay, 100%.
Okay, question about Leon Hayes, your first partnership with him in the absence of Josh Drinkwater. Your thoughts on the young man?
Yeah, he's doing really well, really well. I think he kicked for us really well at the back end there. He's a young head on old shoulders, if that's the right saying. He's doing really well for us, and yeah, pleased for him, Warrington lad.
Can I ask why you shoved him out with the kicking tee and you didn't take the kicking duties yourself?
No, I'm not good at goal kicking. I've got a dodgy ankle too, so no good.
Okay, is that an issue for you, George? The goal kicking for the team, in the absence of Stefan Radford not being in the 17?
Well, tonight it was 100%. It closed the game up, made it closer than we wanted it to be. But it is what it is. We found a way to win, and that's the pleasing part. We'll enjoy the bus home, and yeah, we've got London next Sunday, so off we go again.
Absolutely, John.
Yeah, you've got yourself and Matt Duffy in the team who can beat players on nights like this, in conditions like this, George. How important is that? Not necessarily to create an overlap, but be able to beat men on your own.
Yeah, Matt Duffy was brilliant tonight, not just making breaks and scoring tries. I think defensively, catching bombs at the last step, and coming up with defensive plays that he's probably not known for. So that's something that pleased me tonight. He's been really good for us, and yeah, look, you've seen some of the stuff he does. He's one of the fastest in Super League, and I've just got to try and free him up as best I can.
Is that the word that you used earlier? You used the word resilience. Is that what's been brought into the club, and is that the most noticeable difference between Warrington of past seasons and you this year?
Well, yeah, that's what we're striving for. I think Sam's come on, been honest, we're way off defensively where he wants us to be and where we want to be. So tonight's a step in the right direction. We still conceded, 20 points, which is a little bit too much, especially if you want to win grand finals and something down the track. But pleasing win.
So, some rate completion rates, some coaches don't prize it so highly. 91% tonight. Is it something that Sam focuses on?
100%. Well, if you're over 85%, you give yourself a chance to win the game. So that's pleasing. I didn't know that, but it felt good out there. We was complete, and it weren't always flash. We were just finding the way to the end of the set and kicking it in the corners.
Yep.
Don't be getting blood on our microphone.
I'm ruining it.
It's so close to getting that claret on there.
Safety. They'll be open arms. Listen, we're going to go and let you go in. You've got to celebrate with your teammates and enjoy the bus journey home.
Cheers.
George, thanks very much. Well done.
Congratulations.
Cheers, George.
He's a bit strong, isn't he? Yeah. Honestly.
Get the antiseptic.
He squeezed the hand. I'm not bothered about the blood. He's squeezing it.
I'll say he's well put together, isn't he?
Oh, absolutely.
He's well put together.
He's strong through the hips.
Yes, he is. Do you know what? They have. We spoke about the strength of the squads, and it is well worth making the point. Even if maybe as a collective, the squad, you have question marks about their strength and their ability as a squad to be good enough to challenge. In George Williams, they have absolutely got a star of the Betfred Super League.
Yeah, well, you see the combination of him and Dufty throughout the game, whether it's Williams playing back inside to Dufty or Dufty bouncing around and finding Williams pushing in support. They've got the ability to unlock defences. I see in George Williams a man who can do that in any team around the world, on any stage and any night. He's that good. And he's just getting going this year. He's hardly got going. He's a really special player, is George Williams, and such an asset for Warrington.
I think the more difficult the game gets, and the more difficult, you know, when it's stacked up against your team, that's when George Williams steps up even more. I think tonight he was outstanding. You know, when you think about the two tries to Matt Dufty, the come-off passes direct, or the break from Dufty before the kick for the try just before half-time, the inside pass, and then the try at the end comes directly off George.
Well, let's go to half-time. 8-point lead, 18-12 to Warrington Wolves. Start of the second half. First try you felt was going to be all important. It took a while to come. When it did come, it went the way of Hull KR.
Yeah, it did. And what happened was actually, Brian, and mistakes were huge in this game, wasn't it? And the mistakes which Hull KR made and the opportunities which they created were actually probably the most telling momentum shifters in the half. Look, Mikey Lewis was exceptional, and that's him creating things and making things happen. The pass has just got to be on the money. So it's the Bachelor opportunity and the Mikey Lewis opportunity. I think Hull KR look back and really rue those two chances. You rarely get two so clean-cut chances, and to not take them, you look, Mikey Lewis shakes his head and he's right to.
The thing with that pass is it doesn't give Jez a chance to score.
No.
If Jez catches it and gets caught up by George Williams backtracking, or the winger from the left edge of Warrington, then you say Mikey Lewis can do no more. There, he's just got to be better with his skill, in my opinion.
Yeah, you pick up on a point on Mikey Lewis, and I don't want to be down on Mikey Lewis. You're absolutely right, he's a dynamo. We know that he's a live wire, but Willie Peters has been explicit this year. He said he's looking for another element to his game that controls him, because you've got Tyrone May, who's an incredible player off the cuff. We'll look at his pass for the try a little later on. But from Mikey, he's looking for a little bit more control. And that's why I was picking up that point about him diving into dummy half. Sure, he can spark a game, but then put him in at dummy half.
Yeah, I don't think you're going to get that from Mikey Lewis. I don't think you're going to get a structured, organised player who controls the game by organising others. I just don't think that's his skill. I think his skill is individual plays that work for himself, and I don't think he can be selfless enough to maybe do that for the team.
I just think it's really difficult to coach a player to run a team, to coach a player to be able to think as much on the run. I just think players that play in half-back positions, one of them generally does that, and the other one's generally a Mikey Lewis. And I'm not sure that you can coach that into him. Yes, you can certainly make him a better percentage player and come up with better percentage passes and kicks, but you can't take away from him what is, in my opinion, his natural ability, which is blockbuster.
Okay, you've showed us a couple of spill chances. One, the James Russell one in the first half, and then that second one, the missed pass, the inaccurate pass from Mikey Lewis to Jez Litton. They did score first though in the second half. Oliver Gildart this time.
Yeah, it was fantastic. And Tyrone May and his input was huge. He just built pressure. We spoke about him being off the cuff. Well, he took the charge in this part of the game. He got a repeat set for Hull KR. That put him in a position to take an opportunity, and it's the combination of Tyrone May to Mikey Lewis. This pass is delightful. Ryan Hall's run is just perfect, and Oliver Gildart finishes. But this is Mikey Lewis creating for others. That's not him not beating a man, but his combination with Tyrone May at this period in the game was really powerful. Tyrone May digs into the line here, draws Toby King out of the line. We see it better from this angle, actually. Watch Toby King come here. Well, Tyrone May's got him all in all sorts there. It's Opicic in space.
What Tyrone May does for me is he just plays the game at his own speed. He plays slow and he slows the game down. He digs into the line and then almost stops before he passes the ball. Once Toby King comes, his winger's got to come with him.
Yeah.
Once his winger comes with him, he throws a delightful
He's
pass.
a bit like Jason Smith used to be at Hull. He plays the game in slow motion.
Yeah.
Just from a skill perspective, because I mean, you're a man who's famous for his passing ability and his range of passes, short and long. How difficult is it to do what Tyrone May did there?
Yeah, really difficult. A lot of it's won in the video room. So if you're previewing a team and you know that Toby King's coming, then you have that in your locker to be able to play or find a kick. You know, it's one thing having that. It's the other thing having the ability to be able to play it. So knowing what you want to do and then being able to execute are two different things. He did both really well.
And we felt like at that point, I felt like Hull KR's going to run away with this. Or not run away with it.
No.
I felt they were going to win the game though from that point.
Well, you know what? That's great. You say that because you weren't sitting beside myself and Paul. We were thinking the exact opposite.
Right. Well, there you go.
It felt the most uncomfortable 2-point lead.
I just felt there was a smash and grab waiting to happen. You know, they'd not thrown any punches second half, Warrington, and then they get one chance where Mikey Lewis comes out of the line and then Ryan Hall has to pat the ball down, and then from the resulting scrum, that's the one bullet that they have and they kill with it. It's a smash and grab in the second half.
Yeah, I almost felt like Warrington were gassed though, and I just felt at home, Hull KR, that momentum they got from those two tries, they'd take it on, but.
Listen, it doesn't matter either. You know, it doesn't matter how much Hull KR dominated that game second half. Ultimately, Warrington have come away with 2 points, and it's a very welcome 2 points. And in my opinion, a very tough and well-deserved.
No question. But let's get to how they eventually won the game. Warrington, as you say, didn't have a shot to fire in the second half. John Wells called in the commentary then it was Hull KR forcing a ball, then this scrum play from Warrington, which was beautifully executed.
Yeah, John Wells did well to call 5 Warrington players on 3 Hull KR players. Matt Duffy, excellent look. He was hidden. And his speed is what creates this.
Right, defend this better then. Talk to me from a defense.
You need more push out the scrum. So your back row's not even broken. You've got to cheat, Brian. So you got to cheat. You have to get out the scrum earlier, and you've got
Paul Vaughan's cheating. Paul Vaughan's cheating. He's holding on to Jai Whitbread in the scrum.
Yeah, exactly.
It's delightful play from Warrington.
Of course it is.
And you're right, it's 5-on-3. But Hull KR can defend that better and they can get out of the scrum quicker.
Yeah, well,
it's really they're winning by 2, aren't they? They're winning by 2 at the time, aren't they?
They were 2 behind.
What they've got to be careful of is giving a penalty away, because a penalty becomes kickable and levels the football game.
Not tonight. Nothing was kickable tonight.
And also, Peteku's gone from full-back, playing at centre at that stage, and he's got to deal with the speed of Matt Duffy. He's almost got lead in his boots. He's not been in that position all year. So again, it speaks to Hull KR having to move somebody who they're not quite sure with 9 levels, and then we're in a little. It was like a merry-go-round, who's at full-back and who's not. Well, I think that cost them on that play, because you need to be really quick on your feet to be able to two-touch a guy on your inside and then go to the outside. And he just couldn't do it. And Duffy was too good. Williams was too good, and they just iced that play. I'm glad you guys called it. John Wells called it. I was the only one calling a Hull KR win.
No, well, yeah, it just seemed it seemed fragile.
You're right, it was just uncomfortable, wasn't it? But it was uncomfortable all night, where the lead to and fro and the momentum of the game to and fro.
Such a good game.
Yeah. Just before we get to it was a great game. Just before we get to the interview with Sam Burgess, this play down here, this forced play from Hull KR coming out of their own half. I was staggered with just a 2-point lead, and you're going to have to weren't playing particularly well in an exciting game, and they forced the ball just honestly meters away from where we were here.
It was. I think it was Ryan Hall who played to Gildart, didn't he? And then he sort of steps off his left foot, finds around the corner pass. For me, the percentages say go to ground. It's really easy for us to say out here, but even if you're on the field as a halfback that's running a game, you should be able to say, we don't need that at this time in the game. If you turn the ball over, I think there's 12 minutes left, 10 minutes left. If you turn the ball over 5 times down the Warrington end of the field, then you probably win the game.
My question is that overconfidence then from Hull KR? Is it almost like, did they just breathe and go, right, we've got this now. Maybe. We've got this now. Where it would have took an awful lot of effort from that point to the end of the game to beat a Sam Burgess Warrington Wolves team.
Yeah, OK, speaking of Sam Burgess, we promised you an interview with him. Here he is and his thoughts after a hard-fought victory. Nonetheless, a very entertaining one here on Sky Sports. He's with Jenna.
Yeah, thanks very much, Brian. Sam Burgess, that was quite the nail-biter.
Yeah, it was a great game, wasn't it? I thought both teams were good. Both teams had the moments of energy swings. We just managed to clinch it at the end, but we knew it was going to be a battle. I didn't think it'd be that close at the end. But, you know, they're a great team. It's a hard place to come, so I'm just really proud of the players. They got what they deserved.
Matt Duffy, player of the match, you just called out to him sensational. I mean, how influential is he part of your team?
Well, he's brilliant. You know, I think we all saw tonight what Matt Duffy can do. And I think I said a couple of weeks ago he's only getting started. Love coaching him. He's great bloke. He just wants to get better. He don't want to let the team down. So I'm really proud of him. It was a good team effort tonight.
He said just in the interview that you've made a few tweaks to his game, one of them being you want him to get more involved. I mean, he was pretty involved tonight.
Yeah, it was like a little Energizer bunny, wasn't he? It didn't not stopped all night. But he's had a great pre-season. He's a great ball of energy around the team. So I'm a true believer you do get what you deserve on the field, and if you put the work in, you get the rewards, and I think Duff's just a good example of that.
And I know you've always got a soft spot for your forwards. How good was Paul Vaughan and James Harrison?
Yeah, I thought they were all good. I think Ben Curry through the middle has been brilliant for us. Jordan Crowther back as well tonight. The fields are tough and slow at the moment as well, so it's a tough, grindy game for the big boys in the middle, and we're holding up pretty well.
And we certainly saw a resilient Warrington team tonight.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Well, Sam Burgess, your first away win of the season. Congratulations.
Brilliant. Thank you, Jenna.
Thanks. See you later.
Yeah, resilience, that'll be the bare minimum Sam Burgess expects from his side. You saw their upcoming fixture list. London away next up for them. We will have an interview with Willie Peters coming up shortly to get Hull KR coach's thoughts on his side's defeat. Sam, fair to say it's a four games now. Small sample size of Sam Burgess coach side. Yet to see the best of Warrington, but 3 wins out of 4. Anybody's going to take that in the formative years of his head coaching career.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they'll be pleased with the start of the year. They had a tough game at Catalan at the start. That could have easily gone the other way. They could be 4 from 4. But a strong start. And I think the impact of him on the culture and how Warrington play and the bigger picture stuff, obviously, we can't see that yet. Well, there's no chance of us seeing that yet. But he's got a positivity and a difference out of players who were not maybe playing so well last year. Matt Duffy's an example, wasn't he? Played really well in some games. It was awful in others. Well, he started this year fantastically well with an amazing performance here. And Warrington, look, we questioned, whether they had the robustness and the resilience or whatever you want to say. Well, they've just delivered, haven't they?
You called it minerals once, didn't you?
Minerals. They haven't. Why would you bring that up?
Why? Would I be unkind pointing out that they went 8 from 8 to start last year? Or is this totally different?
No, I think it is totally different. I think the small words that he uses, or that he came out with delicate before the game about one of his players, and maybe that's about the team environment as a whole. It's been delicate and fragile for too many years. But then he came out with, George Williams comes out with resilient. And that's obviously a word that they're speaking about and trying to build that culture. There's lots to do at Warrington, but it seems like they've got off to a good start.
Yeah, I will say this: last year, the opening 8 rounds, they absolutely smashed every team that they played. They ran through them, blitzed them. It wasn't like this. These are tight games. They've got every reason to lose tonight. They had every reason to. They've got. I think the back end of last year they would have lost this game here tonight. And I think at the start,
they weren't playing well the back end of last year.
No,
well,
that's what I'm saying. But the start of last year, they were just destroying teams. It was almost not even a sample that you can look at. It was different. And once they stopped blitzing teams through the middle of the field and teams muscled up against them, they went away. Well, Hull KR muscled up against them tonight, and they got it done.
Okay. We've heard the thoughts of John, Paul and Sam Burgess. What about Willie Peters? What say you, Willie?
Yeah, thanks very much, Brian. Willie Peters, it was Hull KR's for the taking. They just couldn't take it.
Yeah, we had a poor start, and then obviously the back end of that first half. But I thought we played extremely well. I thought we put ourselves in a position to win. That we just found ways to hand momentum back, and that's the offload here sort of hurt us the back end there, and we couldn't claw it back.
Should they have won that game?
Yeah, we should have. Yeah, there's no doubt. I just said it, and then I'm gutted for them because the effort that they put in, they should have won that game. There's some learnings there. I think last plays we can be better, and just some last passes, scoring tries, 2v1s, that sort of stuff. We execute those, we're probably going to win.
And Jez Litton has really claimed that role as goal kicker. How do you turn him into an 80-minute player?
Yeah, we'll slowly do that. Obviously, I thought Matty did a good job as well. But yeah, we'll just play more. Yeah, each week we'll just see where he's at. We don't want to overdo him, but if he can play 80 minutes like he did against Leeds, then obviously that'll benefit us.
Willie Peters, thank you so much for coming out and talking to us.
Thanks, Jenna. Cheers. Thank you.
Yeah, it's a good question from Jenna. If they can get more minutes out of Jez Litton, the interchange of their goal kicker won't be such of an issue. Huddersfield, Hull FC, London, Catalan, and then Wigan coming up. I will say to you then, played 4, 1-2, lost 2. With that run of fixtures coming up for Hull KR, they're going to be severely tested over the next 5 or so rounds.
Absolutely. You know, and that's what Super League's all about. It's relentless, isn't it? You know, when you think you've cracked it, then somebody comes and beats you by, you know, a big score, or, you know, when you think that you're travelling okay as an individual, you know, you get run over a couple of times. So it's going to be an interesting period for Hull KR. Interesting about Jez Litton there. We need to get more minutes out of him to keep him on the field. There's a couple of ways to do that. You can throw him back on at 13, but then you lose Elliot Minchella, who's a massive part in the middle, or you play no Matt Parcell. You know, I'm not sure which way you go with that.
As I said, just to make that point, 2023 he was averaging 45 minutes a game. So far, heading into this game, he was up at 65. If he's going to be their number one goal kicker, I make no apologies for going again at this point, because we saw average goal kicking at times tonight. Yeah. They're going to have to get more minutes out of Jez.
Yeah, you wouldn't want to be Matt Parcell listening to that, would you? I mean, what do you do then? You're backup 9 who's almost redundant. You know,
get the tee out.
Yeah, exactly. Get the kicking tee out. Yeah, in practice. But yeah, getting more minutes out of Jez Litton be important for Hull KR just need to get the big moments in games right. They missed 2 opportunities to really put one on Warrington, and they came up with an error and a penalty. Knockdown, the big moments of the game they got wrong, whereas Warrington just managed to retain a tidiness at those moments that Hull KR couldn't.
They may look at those moments, particularly the ones you've pointed out there. That break from Mikey Lewis, missed pass to Jez Litton, and the James Batchelor first half drop over the line. Let's plug that result into the Betfred Super League table, and Warrington shoot up into second with just 1 defeat in their opening 4 games. Hull KR, they stay in 5th. It's a 50% record for them to start the season. Of course, we've got a full round of Betfred Super League action here for you on Sky Sports, giving you more than ever before in season 2024. Remember, the NRL, it kicked off last week in Vegas. Games we brought you on Sky Sports will bring you the Storm against the reigning premiers, the Penrith Panthers, 9:05 on Arena, and main event for that one. What a game that promises to be. And the rest of the Super League matches from round 4. All 5 live with us on Sky Sports. Action, Arena and Mix tomorrow. Leeds-Lee, we're on air at 7:30 p.m. for a full build-up to the Leopards against the Rhinos. We'll also be across Castleford against Huddersfield and St Helens against Salford, games you can see live as you can on Saturday with a doubleheader. London against Wigan, 2:55 p.m. on Action. Same channel at 5:25 for the Catalan Dragons, hoping to bounce back from that defeat to Leeds last week against Hull FC, who got past eventually the London Broncos in round 3. Big win for Tony Smith's side as they travel to France. My thanks to John Wilkin and to Paul Cook at a very cold and windy Suacru Cavan Park, where we have seen a resilient Warrington Wolves side secure a victory just over Hull KR. Big night for Sam Burgess and the Wolves. For Willie Peters and the Robins, plenty to consider. Till next time, bye-bye.
Sky Sports. Feel it all.